Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Overwatch University League. You're joining myself, Daniel Dutch Sandal, and my co-host today, the forever lovely Energy__ being, and you are joining us for week 2 of season 2 of the Overwatch University League. But first things first, how are we doing today, Energy?
Doing good. Just ate and everything. It's always a nice feeling to have that. And yeah, we're going into a fully packed game not game. We're going into a fully packed stream today. We did not think that we were going to have that, so coming in with 3 full matches to do is definitely going to be a good time.
And they're going to be free action-packed matches as well. But first, before we do go into those, remember guys, if you are tuning in for the first time and you're just wondering what the hell we're doing here, why is this random British dude talking to you, why do we have a random American as well and a lovely little background on there? Well, we are the Overwatch University League, and we are the largest recreational Overwatch league that's currently available to players out there. If you'd like to follow a link to the Discord in the channel's description below, you can also follow us here on Twitch and on Twitter at OW University, so you can be updated when we're going to be going live in the future. But do check out that Discord. Fantastic chats that can be had with lots of people in there, and a very welcoming community as well. But for today's broadcast, we do have the full day ahead of us. We have 3 action-packed games. First of all, we're going to head over to Division 3. And what are we going to see over in Division 3? Our Mercy Can't Res versus Whatever Bro. Then, following that up, we'll take a short break and come straight back to you guys with some Division 7 action, where we're going to see Diverse Origin take on NTWD, or New Team Who Dis. Finishing up the day, we're going to be heading over to Division 5, and we're going to see a clash of the titans between Don't Blink and the Uncoordinated Inc. But over to our first game, we have a lobby available, and we have 2 teams that we are very excited for today.
Yeah, we will be watching Our Mercy Can't Res, who we have been casting for since mid last season when casting first became a thing in this tournament, and also Whatever Bro, who we haven't seen before, but is getting some nice icon synergy with that Torbjorn going forward. But yeah, it should be an interesting match. We do know that Our Mercy Can't Res, or previously Our Ana Can't Aim, is a very good team, and seeing what they pull out for this match is going to be very entertaining. We do have high hopes for them, and we will be, speaking to them after if they screw up. So the onus is on them. Yeah.
And they also know that they're going to be on the stream today, but going up against them is the team of Whatever Bro. Now, they're a team that we don't know too much about. They're quite new coming into this tournament as well, so we're going to be having to see what they can do. We do know that the team of Whatever Bro all have competitive TF2 experience, all of the varying degrees of specialty within that field, however. So they already do have some synergy coming in for a similar game, but we're going to have to see how that translates over into Overwatch as well.
I mean, definitely with certain classes in TF2, it would translate a bit easier than others, because, some classes in TF2 basically just became different characters when it came into Overwatch. Reskin, remodel, same thing. So your skills with that will probably vary coming into this. But if they do have a competitive background with this already, they may have an advantage coming in to a new esport. It's definitely, a slightly different one, has different timing, different everything else, but it's going to be an interesting bout to see if this experience that they've had in the past will translate over, if their team communication will be enough to get them through, going against one of the better teams that we've seen in the past.
And of course, we do also know with Whatever Bro, as a team, they have a very varied set of players. We do know that their main tank is currently in silver, whereas they do also have some master players on their side. So going all the way across the skill ratings coming into this here.
Yeah, that is a pretty big spread for them. Also, we do have a suggestion from the chat for Our Mercy Can't Res for their name next season. Our Lucio Can't Wall Ride. I think that's a good suggestion for them. But yeah, we're basically just waiting to get into the first map for this game. We're good to go whenever, and it looks like we're going to be hopping in soon to Lijiang Tower, which will be the first map of this match today.
And of course, as you say, Lijiang Tower is the home map of Our Mercy Can't Res. I was about to call them Our Anna Can't Aim for a second, just
Yeah.
falling back onto old habits there. And the first map that we are going to be going into is Night Market as well.
Yeah. Night Market is a really fun map. Like, a lot of people just... There are different strategies for this. Sorry for tripping on my words, but there are different strategies for this. You can fight directly in front of the point, or you can just go to the point in the beginning of the fight it out there, and really it's more up to the preference on the teams of how they do that. We do see some interesting picks coming out of, whatever bro. They're saying whatever bro to the meta and choosing a Symmetra and a Sombra on their team. Let's see if they actually keep that.
Yeah, and Dashij running that Symmetra doesn't look like he's going to be switching this, as both teams are actually now starting to get ready to run out of their spawns. So, going to have to see how they're going to handle this one so far. Of course, Turtle Eye is one of the higher ranked players on the side of Our Mercy Can't Res, and named after the team as well. So, when it comes to it, we're going to have to see how much he can stay alive here today.
There will be an interesting, play to see if they can get that Mercy down fast. And if they can, they may end up winning a lot more team fights that way.
Taking a look at this already, we're already seeing the point start to be under contention. Sammy gonna getting the first kill there as Madmare, the captain of the team, the first man to be taken down in this fight. So looking at this, red team of whatever bro still have advantage on this point. Gonna be forcing Our Mercy Can't Res back into the courtyard as Bloody is gonna be running around, tries to find those initial picks, gonna be capping the point whilst we're at it as well. But Our Mercy Can't Res gonna be holding back. There's a hook, and Madmare does manage to take down Doki Doki. So that is one more team captain going down, killed off by the other. Gonna aggress the point straight away from Our Mercy Can't Res here, as that's gonna be a Reinhardt charging into a Reinhardt, both at full speed. That's kills across the board, traded Proximo and Madmare picking up their own here. Res already coming through from Turtle Eye, as that's going to be a clean wipe on this point, and Our Mercy Can't Res re-securing.
And that is the point. Really, it is kind of hard to break down what exactly worked for them. That res definitely swung the fight back in their favor enough to take that point. But it was basically everybody on their team working together in tandem to get that point back.
Looks like this is going to be the same case for whatever bro is running in as a team, but Demu getting the first kill here. Bloodis, Demu getting two, going straight in. That's the double pulse bomb into Dashij. That rocket barrage is going to re-secure the point again, and this is a very competitive game already.
Bloodis doing an incredible job with that stick. Getting 2 kills off of that is enough to swing that fight in your favor very hard.
And we did see that being the case. Very clean takes, also very competitive at the very beginning here. Gonna have to see how Our Mercy Can't Res are gonna retake this point. Hisomi gonna be pushing in first. The barrier does go down, however, and he's gonna be taken out by Bloodis. Advantage in the favor of whatever bro. Trying to look for more. Madmare does get the pick down onto Sammy. Chris still pushing forward, tries to find the fire strike. No connection so far. There's the barrier gonna go down as whatever bro fall back onto the point here.
Yep. They are going to do that point hold, and the point hold is probably the best situation for them. Usually when you're defending the point, you're doing a good job of just keeping that time, keeping that percentage up. The more you work around your point, the better you'll do.
Hook of the Farah pulled out of the sky. Hisomi getting the charge kill as well. Transcendence will come through, but Proximo getting the dead eye kill down onto Lucio, re-securing the point, and that hook will do it.
And Chris doing the tactical suicide, going off the edge to get back to his team. Proximo, as we stated before last season, is an incredible hit scan player, and we love seeing him on this McCree every single time.
A lot of very good hit scan players coming through this. That raw mechanical aim coming through. Always a pleasure to watch, as that's gonna be a brutal hook onto a Tracer there. Going to be seeing a lot of fighting coming through as the point is going to be contested once again. However, kills going in the favor of whatever bro straight away, but heroes do never die as that Mercy can res. She does get them all back up into the air. Dashij, 2 kills, 1 with the rocket barrage as he's trying to find more, and this is going to be an incredibly clean take. Beautiful execution.
That was bad. They used both of the defensive ults at the same time. I think if Shadballs, or Shabu? Shadals? I don't know how to pronounce that. If he didn't use that and he just waited for Turtle Eye to use his ult, get 3 or 4, reses out, then it would have gone in their favor because they could have used the second defensive ult going in.
Demu gonna be finishing out that round with getting charged into a wall. First map is going for Whatever Bro here. Beautiful play coming out of them, and they did come in not feeling too confident about this and confident about their abilities, but going up against Our Mercy Can't Res on their home map and taking Night Market so convincingly. Brilliant work.
It could come back around to haunt them, because sometimes, when you do win that first map, you will lose the second one or so on. It basically just comes down to whether you can keep that momentum up going into the next one. And Bloodis did an incredible job on that Tracer in the first one. That double sticky bomb was just one of the things that stood out, but it was constantly being a harasser on the enemy team, and it really worked out for them.
Now, taking a look at how they're going to be approaching this next, we are coming through to Control Center, so once again, lots of different angles of approach coming in. Whatever Bro will just go straight onto the point and take the early advantage there, but high ground will be contested by Our Mercy Can't Res already.
Yeah. Bloodis on the side harassing right now, but not really going in for any of the kills just yet.
I have to see how they managed to do this. Doki Doki is the first person to get the kill here as he managed to get the headshot down onto Demu. Madman picks him up in return, however, but Sammy still trading these kills back. Point is now under contention as it has been made available. And it looks like, once again, Whatever Bro cleaning up this fight so quickly. Chris getting the charge down onto Turtle there as well.
Doki Doki is doing an incredible job. We normally don't bring up the healers too much, but Doki Doki has been getting these kills himself, moving around his orbs in the best way to get his team some kills, and they're really helping with all that aggression. Oh, but as I mentioned that, he goes down.
Unconventional healer picks as well for both teams coming into this. Dashij will find the flashbang, but has to roll away as he's going to be aggressed on straight away. Proxmo does finish him off, however, and this is going to be breaking it down, coming in from Glyra, who's just going to be keeping everybody alive with those shields. But Krish, the man shield himself, taken down by Proxmo as he's getting hooked in as well. Proxmo gets the second. Bloodis with the pulse bomb once again, but is it enough, as this point is going to be taken from Our Mercy Can't Res, who then used a res for tempo here.
Yeah, they are definitely trying to keep that point, and getting everybody else back alive with that tempo res is just enough to keep that swinging in their favor a bit more. You don't want to be going against 6 with 3. It's never a good idea.
Do love how we've started to use tempo res a little bit more recently. Doki Doki once again gets the entry pick there as the Zenyatta doing work. Dashij gets the headshot himself. Proxmo gets one Deadeye kill, and Demu is going to be taken out by himself. Your own worst enemy there as Chris does finish off another, and Blood is doing work again. That's gonna be another retake for Whatever Bro.
Whatever Bro is really on fire this game. Just the aggression that's coming out of them has been working out so well for their team as a whole. And I think a lot of that has to do with Doki Doki and his crazy entry picks every single time.
It's not very often that we use entry fragger over here, which is an esport, but Doki Doki is doing that on a pick which we don't expect to get those frags early into the fights either. But of course, a lot of damage as Bloodis is going to be the one to be taken down to begin this fight off. Madmed does look for the hook, but doesn't find anything so far. Sammy going to be, oh my goodness, walks into the flashbang, and Proxmo getting the double headshot with that McCree. Chris only trading one member back as Madmed takes down Dashij, shootables, takes down Doki Doki, and it looks like Our Mercy Can't Res are going to be taking this point again.
Yeah, Bloodis kind of came in at the end to try and, harass the point a little bit more, get a little bit more of that percentage, but it didn't really work out. Madman knows what he's doing, and he just shut that down immediately. They are having a nice back and forth, but as this goes, I do think that Whatever Bro is just a bit better and a bit more aggressive coming into this.
Deadeye is going to come out from Dashij here. He doesn't manage to find anybody as Madman's going to be the one to take the pick down onto him. Hasumi and Shbu do get 2 more kills themselves. This is a very successful defense so far, and it looks like it's just going to be Sammy left alone on that point and left out to dry.
It's really just like a constant back and forth trade between these teams. And that's really interesting going into this. Seeing this back and forth coming out of both of them is just incredible. But I don't know what exactly is going to come out for these next fights.
4 ultimates are available. That could be one of the things we're looking at as Doki Doki once again gets the entry pick. That's going to be the Earth Shatter, allowing Bloodis to get a kill. Proxmo uses the Deadeye, only secures for 1, however.
Oh, and
that's
the
going
res.
to be the res as Turtleye gets everybody back up. Doki Doki taken out of the fight instantly, and that's another Pulse Bomb stick going through. Sammy finding another, Dashij finding one himself, and that is going to be the point taken, and we are so close to the end of this round now.
Yeah, it is only 1 or 2 pushes left from this being done. Probably just the one, because it is 98 to 95 now. Our Mercy can't res, needs to get on this point if they're going to secure the overtime.
Sony and Demu getting in there first. Chris does manage to survive through the Pulse Bomb here. This will be overtime secured straight away. Chris does get the charge. Now looking for extra. Spoodles gets a kill of his own down onto Bloodis' Proxmo, taking out Doki Doki as well. Madmare using that Genji now. Trying to slice, trying to dice. Gets Dashij. Proxmo getting Chris, and this could be the point. Resecured for Our Mercy can't res. Just Sammy left alone here, trying to buy as much time as possible. Glyra now coming in for the backup, but that is nothing in comparison to the flashbang of Proxmo, who's coming in. Hosimi does get 2 kills himself. Now we are going to see one more point cap come out as the fight still going on. Hosumi once again getting his name on that kill board as Madmare taking out Dashij again. Madmare does have the ult available to him, and Demu Madmare doing work to secure this point. And this is the recap, possibly coming in for the take of the entire game.
They're now in the overtime. They might just take it all the way back themselves. They're going to take it back. They are now 1-1 through that crazy last point cap. That was incredible.
Very difficult to keep up with all of the action as it was happening there. Both teams, as you mentioned, going back and forth so very easily here and trading so aggressively.
Yeah, they're trading extremely aggressively both ways. Definitely Whatever Bro is a bit more aggressive as far as this goes, but Our Mercy Can't Res has some pretty good ult usage out of Turtle Eye, getting those reses back in, using the tempo res to, you know, hold that point a little bit longer. It's more of like interesting team play from Our Mercy Can't Res side, and on Whatever Bro it's just pure aggression, and I'm into this fight coming out between them.
1-1, we are all tied up in this best of 5 on our very first map as well. So coming into this, looks like Whatever Bro going to be taking the entrance through the backside here, but Doki Doki the first one to be taken down. Not what we're used to seeing when he's usually the one making these entry picks.
Yeah, he's usually the person getting the entry pick before his team tries to frag out, but he is taken down immediately, and it is not going great for his team because of that.
This will be Our Mercy Can't Res taking the point first of all here. But as we have seen in the rounds prior to this, it doesn't look like Whatever Bro are going to be sitting on that for too long. They will come in with the aggression. Dashij is looking for some entry damage using that fire pick. Proxmo does get the first pick, however. Now looking at this back into the courtyard, Dashij gets a kill of his own. That's a second. Spoodles does kill off Sammy, but that's the first res coming through already. Dashij has to get out of this as Glyra jumps off the side to avoid the death at the hands of the enemy team.
I think Bloodis probably should have just jumped off. They were going for the suicide, but they reversed back, and really, in the end, I think they probably just should have went there. They ended up losing probably a few percentage of time just waiting for the team to get back together.
Chris will be leading the charge over the bridge section once again, and he's going to be taken off of the map immediately, still at a 5-6 disadvantage. Look, gonna be Tracer once again trying to dip and dive, but Madmare giving everything as good as it's taken. Blood is gonna be taken off the edge of the map again. Doki Doki gets fragged himself by Madmare, and looking at this, Chris isn't able to find the entrance as Madmare is going absolutely nuts here.
He knows what he's doing, he's diving them well, and he's taking out their healers without any real problems right now. They are keeping up that aggression, and the enemy team has not taken back that point once.
One thing we haven't picked up on here as well is Our Mercy Can't Res going to be running the free DPS composition here.
They do have an overwhelming amount of damage coming into this, and I think it's working out for them.
Plus a surprising amount of damage coming from that Mercy as well, as the fight's going to be starting off once again. Dashij getting these first picks here, but Madman going to use the Dragon Blade, gets 2 kills as Proximo chipping in for a third and a fourth. Gonna be the point still held here, 97, 98. Now we're in overtime. Bloodis does get the frag here, but Proximo using that tack visor to lock down this site and take this 2-1.
Man, that switch to the 3 DPS really just made up for the lack of aggression that they had coming into this fight, as far as it goes with whatever, bro, with their original team composition, and it has been working out and paying dividends for them. They are getting this back. They could take this 3-1 if they win this map again, but they did lose this map the first round. We will see how they play it this time.
Of course, over to Night Market once again, as I love every time I come out of spawn, I see that incredibly cute pig. But back to the game.
Kind of wish that I could eat at this, ramen stand right here, but hey.
Looking at the compositions, what can we be expecting to see coming from the side of Whatever Bro once again on this map?
From Whatever Bro, I think they're going to run around Dashij and Doki Doki again. Sammy does do a lot of damage, but Dashij is more like the interrupter, and Doki Doki just kind of takes people out. Blood is also playing with him very well as the interrupting role.
And an interruption can't get any better than killing somebody off, as Hasomi's going to be the first one picked off in that fight. Chris holding down this site now once again, pushing forward as Bloodis gets the kill down onto Proximo. Not usually what we've been seeing, when Proximo is usually the one winning these aim battles.
Yeah, Proximo is usually the one that's taking out Bloodis because, again, he is in position to do that with that McCree. He knows what he's doing. He's definitely a great anti-tracer, pick for this team, but it just didn't work out for him that last time.
Taking a look at this as well, we do have the hit scan coming out of Sammy too, but Proximo once again taken down, and it's Sammy to secure this kill. Doki Doki gets the headshot down onto the Genji as Spoodles also gets one of his own heroes. Never die, however, so people back on point. Contention is still in favor of our Mercy can't res here, as they're going to wipe up shop and take the point again.
Definitely Turtle Eye is doing a great job at timing these reses. Usually he's waiting until the team, is in advantage already, and then he's resing to get those numbers up even higher. Just take that point back without any contestation.
And Doki Doki fragging out once again, but Demu gonna secure a kill of his own with that pulse bomb, as Chris is the man to be on the receiving end of that. Fight still happening in the courtyard here as Hasomi battering the Omnic in the head. Dashij using that ultimate, but Proximo's gonna be the one to pick him out of the sky with the fly swatter of a revolver. Bloodis doing some work down onto Madmet as well. Looks like Whatever Bro trying to find their entrance into the point again, but there's nothing they can do here. They are on lock.
Man, and there are 2 DPS ults coming out. Oh, Proximo getting another kill on Bloodis.
And we are going to be going on to this point, but that's an Earth Shatter! 4 members on the point,
Oh,
Proximo getting 2
2
with
kills.
the Deadeye. Hasomi is not going to go down here, as he's going to be the one to secure the kill onto Chris with a beautiful hold.
Proximo is doing an incredible job on everything that he plays so far, and Madma gets a lot of credit, especially last map, for his Genji play. Really, they are doing an incredible job for their team and pulling this back.
Of course, all of that was enabled by Hasomi's Earth Shatter as well, getting 4 members onto the floor. As they try to get in, Glyra will get an entry pick here, and Madmare going to be using that Dragon Blade once again, but going straight into the Lucio ultimate. Going to be trying to keep everyone alive. Madmare's the one going down here, as he's the one taken out by Sammy's tactical visor. Dashij still up in the air, not taken out just yet. Doki Doki doing work, as the rest of Whatever Bro are going to wipe the team again and take the point for themselves.
Whatever Bro had such incredible play coming out of that, because even though Turtle Eye used his ult, and even though the team more or less came fully standing back up after it, they were able to shut down that play again. They were like, this point is mine, and they took it for themselves.
and they're not taking this sitting down. This is the home map of Our Mercy Can't Rest. They are up 2-1 here, just to reiterate that, but they are having the fight brought to them here by Whatever Bro. Proxmo not wanting to make this one a victory just yet for them, as he's going to be taking the Farah out of the sky. Chris getting a kill of his own as Blood is going to be responding with another. Hisomi gets one as the trade here, but not finding anything else just yet, as this point is mostly on lock from the side of Whatever Bro. Glyra does get the boop onto Proxmo, and that's a feels bad man right there.
Yeah, they will have some ults coming out in the next fight. It looks like Shabudals may have an ult coming into the next one, will have an ult coming into the next one, and Proxmo is likely to get his halfway through the next team fight. This will be the last team fight of this point, though. It will probably just stretch into the overtime.
Madmay has switched over onto the Zarya pick as well. That's going to be Chris getting the counter charge, killing off Demu at the very beginning. Dashij also getting a kill for himself. Blood is trying to wipe up the rest, but this is huge. Rez does come out, but doesn't get everyone, as that is going to be the fight. Still going in favor here of Whatever Bro. 2 ults going to be used, and this is going to be 2-2 as we're heading into the last round.
It's great to come in these with such tension coming out of the fights, having so many people just kind of working back at each other. It's going 1-1-1, 1-2, 2-2, and going into the next fight, we will see who pulls this out. This map was extremely close for both teams the first time. In the end, Our Mercy Can't Res just took it by a little bit right in the overtime section, so we will see if they can do that again, if they can secure their win, or if Whatever Bro, a relatively new team to us casting, will take their first victory on stream.
Relatively new team to the league as well, so
yeah.
These guys haven't had too much preparation coming into this, so being able to beat Our Mercy Can't Res on their home map would be a huge momentum swing for them, as the gates are open and we are heading into our last round here of our first map.
Yeah, it looks like Whatever Bro is going to be going directly to the point again, while Our Mercy Can't Res just using that high ground to get a little bit of that damage off.
Fight will be coming down already. This will be the flanking monkey, crouching monkey, hidden monkey. Once again, Sammy gonna be coming in, gets that entry kill. That's gonna be Chris charging through a couple of members, but no connection is made on that charge. Doki Doki does frag out twice in a row. Sammy cleaning up the rest of the fight as Demu's gonna be taken down, and this is Whatever Bro taking the point for themselves.
Doki Doki is absolutely incredible every single time, like, there is team fights. Pretty much every other one, there is 1 or 2 kills coming out of him. Usually the first one, because he's so good at timing that right click and getting those headshots with it.
Doing a lot of work to keep the team alive, as well as him and Glyra, the only people on healing duty here, so not a lot of healing coming in.
Yeah, using this kind of healing comp, more or less... Oh, wait, here comes the fight.
Oh, Madme, I did not expect the second kill coming through there, as Prox gets a third, trying to wipe up this point once again, as Our Mercy Can't Res going to be coming in with more. Dashij does frag out Proxmo, but this is Spoodles going to be getting that boop for the kill secure, and point retaken by Our Mercy Can't Res.
And Madma and Proxmo and Demu, all the DPS on Our Mercy Can't Res, have their ults going into the next fight. If they use 1 or 2 of them early on, they could just stop the team fight from happening in the first place. But it looks like Whatever Bro is going to be attacking from the top now. So we will see what they have coming in. It may just be... Oh wait, somebody going to contest.
Instant response coming in there. Just realizing that there may be something different. Proxmo gets the kill onto Doki Doki. This is going to extend the fight a little further. We do have point contest already coming through, but Madman's going to be using that ultimate from the Genji, breaking it down now from the side of Glyra, keeping everyone alive and making sure that nobody else is going to fall to that. That will be the Earth Shatter from Chris. Managed to put Hisomi on the floor, but it's Proxmo getting 2 kills with the flashbang alone.
Oh, and Doki Doki taken out before the next fight can even start. That's going to put them back on some time.
Looking at the capture progress as well, we do have 54% over to 40 at the moment, so definitely an advantage in the favor of Our Mercy Can't Res. gonna have to see whether whatever bro will be able to actually retake the point again, and that's a good start as Darshij is gonna get the first kill here down onto Spodels, and that's Blood is getting a second as it looks like the point is going to be taken. The contestant not even coming through as the rest of our Mercy can't res falling back here.
Now, they realized that they didn't have enough people to take that point or hold that point, so they just tried to pull back, get as least deaths as possible, and they did. So, it's fair play from them doing that.
Hasomi is looking for an entrance here. Once again, the only tank from the side of our Mercy can't res. This is, to reiterate, our last point here of this map. Spoodles is bearing that in mind, and he's got the shield for the team. Doki Doki now using that Transcendence, keeping the rest of the team alive as the entrance coming through. Bloodies kills off Turtle Life at the very beginning. Sammy using that tactical visor. Gets 2, gets 3, and this is going to be another successful point defense.
There will be a lot of ults coming out of our Mercy Can't Res next fight, though. They will have probably 4 available to them in the relative beginning of the fight with Mad 80% now. So they may be able to just force it and take it back if they play it hard enough, and I think that they're going to have to, considering the enemy team is at 95% right now.
97, 98, and that's 2 kills for Doki Doki. Overtime is now almost depleted. Nobody able to get on. That is whatever, bro. Succeeding in taking down our Mercy can't res on their home map here.
Yeah, they took that first point and they took it well. They knew what they were doing and they came back on it. Glyra as Lucio getting play of the match.
Not a player we were able to highlight too often, just purely because the Lucio isn't something you usually see coming to the forefront of the fights more than anything else. Does get a lovely boot there and definitely contributed a lot in terms of the healing coming through.
Alright, so it is Whatever Bro 1 and our Mercy Can't Res 0 going into this. Whatever Bro, if they secure the next map, will be able to take this and call this the win for their first stream in this tournament.
This will also be the first win that they'd be able to pick up within the tournament. Unfortunately, they weren't able to take the victory yesterday when they went up against the Slow Cookers. So we're going to be going to their home map, which they did actually win in their series yesterday.
Well, they should have an advantage going to the home map, but our Mercy Can't Res did have their home map last map, and it did go the opposite direction, so who knows? We could end up going to the neutral map of the week, which is one that a lot of people probably aren't looking forward to, Volskaya Industries.
Of course, when we did get to speak to the members of our Mercy Can't Res, they're actually not too bad when it comes to Dorado. It's one of the maps that they would definitely prefer. Up against the other map, which Whatever Bro have chosen, they do also like to play on Watchpoint Gibraltar, which our Mercy Can't Res absolutely despise.
So it is probably the best of two evils going to this map instead of Watchpoint Gibraltar. So we will see if they can turn it around on Whatever Bro's home map, which is going to be Dorado. They're probably going to be a pretty heavy first point hold at that archway, like there almost always is coming into these maps.
When we did get to take a look at what Whatever Bro were able to pull out on Dorado yesterday, very interesting defensive strategies coming through from them. So probably going to have to see whether our Mercy Can't Res are able to adapt to an unconventional playstyle as well.
They definitely have been playing against the Slow Cookers for more than a season already. I think that they'll be able to. There's nothing that says, you know, unorthodox defense strategies in the Slow Cookers in this tournament.
Of course, definitely the case, as it looks like our first team to be taking the mantle of attack will be the side of Whatever Bro.
Alright, and time to update the scores. It looks like they're both on the same side as the last map, so we will see how this comes out from both of them. There is a... I do not know if I believe that Torbjorn or not, because that is an attack Torbjorn, and that does not usually happen.
We did say unconventional coming into this, and we have to be ready for anything.
We do have to be ready for anything. It might not be trolling, it might just be an interesting pick. You can definitely make it work on payloads if you're running with an Orisa or something else. It is a fairly decent strategy, but we have seen him switch off to that Orisa, which he may or may not stay on. We do have 30 seconds going into this fight before anything starts up.
Of course, looking at the defensive side, once again, we're sticking with Turtle Eye on the Mercy, which he did so much work on last time round. Demu and Proximo going to be taking double hit scan again, and Spoodles going to be taking the Lucio, but Madmare, the interesting one for me, picking up the Diva here.
Yeah, normally we see Madmet on that Roadhog or on Genji. Seeing him on Diva is a little bit different, and I think it may be an interesting change of play for his team.
Of course, we have been seeing a lot more of Diva recently. Oh, this is a very different start to this, as once again, whatever bro, gonna be coming out from underneath. Demu does get the first pick, however, looks like the rest of whatever bro gonna be taking it back a little bit, dial it down, waiting to contest this high ground, as that's going to be the boop coming off. Hasomi is now out of position, and the payload is being pushed forward. Madmare trying to contest from the high ground, as Hasomi gets the charge into Doki Doki there, into a wall. Proximo does finish off Bloodies as well. Glyra will continue pushing the payload, but we are now onto our first major choke of this map as Madmare pulled out of the mech, and this is going to be young Hannah's song, just probably going to jump off the edge here, as going to get through to
Definitely
the respawn.
what happened. They need to press this defense as much as possible, if at all possible. They are down a tank, but they're getting some kills come back.
They're pushing this through with relative ease here, as Bloodis and Doki Doki still getting those picks. Darshij doing work again, takes out both of the hit scan players there, as the payload is going to have an uncontested push through markets.
And the Hallion in chat and saying, like, all this winning is happening because their Mercy can't rest. So, hey.
Of course, we did see some very high impact reses coming through in the last game. Didn't stop them from losing that first map, however, unfortunately, as we're now going to be heading into the second Streets phase here of Dorado. Taking a look at what they're able to pull out here already, Spoodles does get one pick, but the payload still being pushed forward up towards first corner here. Madmare is going to be healed up by Turtle Eye continuously, but he has to get out of there. Demu does get a kill, but now we're on this straight, and we could be starting to see a change up in operations now.
There probably is going to have to be if they want to contest this. They may not, be able to give them so much space for free without going down soon.
Just looking at the swarm of whatever, bro, they're pushing. Managing to take Hasomi out of the fight, instantly hot. Coming through from the double hit scan of our Mercy can't resist. That's gonna be the Earth Shatter. Hasomi charged into a wall and hammered in the face. Doki Doki using the Transcendence, now pushing this forward, keeping the rest of the team alive. Proximo and Demu using that. Aces Eye now, as that's the kill. Darshij does take Demu out of the fight, however, as once again Madmare getting back into his mech. Chris pushing this forward. Darshij is keeping the damage coming through, however, and that was the Earth Shatter from Hasomi, getting two on the floor, but this is the clean wipe coming out of whatever bro.
This is such an incredibly aggressive push. I do have to say that our Mercy Can't Res maybe should have contested that point a little bit earlier. They maybe should have just dropped down and fought for the time, because as it's going now, really, whatever bro is just pushing really hard for nothing for a lot of this. And they do need to contest a little bit more. That objective is the most important part of this. And if you're not, just stalling for time as much as possible, they could just get it in at the 3.5 minute mark.
We currently got 4.5 minutes on the clock. Madmare did hold off the current push coming through with that hook and execution down onto Chris. But once again, we're going to be seeing just a little bit of a regroup coming through. Sammy does get an entry pick, but they're not going to be able to work too much off of that at the second.
No, not really. There is still like a lot of momentum coming in on the side of whatever bro, and Dashi getting another kill coming off on Proximo this time.
Starting the fights off well has been the case of the majority of the match so far, as once again Spoodles is gonna get hammered in the... That's Sammy also taking out her... but this will be the res coming through, getting 2 back alive, but Bloodis is still trading off here, and he is fragging out onto Demu. Proxmo does take Dashij out of the sky as he was trying to use the rocket barrage there, and that's going to be the pulse bomb, taking Hasomi out of the fight as Chris and Bloodies are doing work to keep this push going. Spoodles will get the hammer to the face, but he's not going to go out of the fight just yet as Glyra takes Turtle Eye out of the equation, sends him to the respawn. Demu on the Genji now, just trying to use those double jumps to contest, does get 1 kill for himself, and it looks like Bloodies and Glyra, the only people left as the rest of Whatever Bro trying to come to the aid of their teammates now.
I don't know how I felt about that, Bloodis and Glyra and Chris push at the end right there. They could have just pulled back and went back to their team for a full 6-hold. I know that they were getting maybe a little bit greedy about pushing that payload themselves, but it really would have just been better team play if they went back.
It's all about the gold medals on objective time, really. I mean, that's the most important thing.
That's definitely my most important medal pretty much all of the time.
All the time coming through, as once again Whatever Bro taking a different level of approach here, as they're going to be using the high ground push. They're already in hot corridors, and Bloodis getting 1 more pulse bomb again. 2 frags to start this fight off, having the advantage as Chris uses the fire strike. Turtle Eye is trying to find that res, but he doesn't manage to get it. 97%, trying to get those extra shots to make this count. Payload push coming through now. Spoodle will use the Lucio ultimate as Madmare going to use his on Proxmo. They're layering these on top of one another to try and hold this push off in the final couple of meters. The Earth Shatter, getting 2 onto the floor. Turtle Eye is really not having a good day here as he's being focused out by absolutely everyone. Spoodles and Hasomi, however, picking up the slack and trying to push people out. They've managed to keep this hold going through as Bloodis gets hooked in and executed again.
They definitely saved that right at the end. That was incredible for them, because if that didn't happen, it would have just gone in immediately. Honestly, Madmess switch back over to Roadhog has been a great thing for them with this stall potential coming out.
Now taking a look at what we have on the clock, Turtle Eye was not able to get the res off in the last fight. High ground push once again going to be the contention from Whatever Bro, as that's another pulse bomb and another kill. Another day, another dollar, and we're going to have a Reinhardt charge going all the way into the backline as Blood is trying to dip and trying to dive, trying to find those kills. Still, payload contention coming out from the side of Our Mercy can't res, pushing in still, and that's going to be 1 more charge, just narrowly dodges out from Turtle Eye there, as this will be Transcendence. Dashij with 2 kills on the McCree ultimate. Sammy does get 2 kills of his own as well, fragging this very far forward as Proxmo is going to be taken out of his ultimate, and this is going to be our game. 43 seconds left on the clock.
43 left for them going into the next round. If Our Mercy Can't Res can get it to the end, we do have to see an aggressive hold coming out of Whatever Bro, or else they may not, be able to get it. If you let the other team get all the way to the end, there's always that 1% chance that it can come back in their favor. They need to shut down any opposition that's coming at them, and they need to have a very strong defense to do that.
Looking at the defense that they have already drafted here,
that's
gonna have
definitely
to see
that.
We're gonna have to wait and see whether that's gonna be fully locked in. But from the attacking side of Our Mercy Can't Res, what do they need to do here to push this in?
They need to be as aggressive as they can. Demu right now with that Pharah, if he's able to boop them off the top of this correctly, get 1 or 2 people down, they could just push through the first choke point without any problems. I think that's important for them. I think if Madma goes on the Roadhog to get a kill instantly, or if he goes on the Genji to just, do some damage like he's known to do, dive the healers, kill them if at all possible, that'd be great. And Proxmo on whatever hit scan he's good at, honestly. I think they need a 3 DPS dive or a 3 DPS, death ball, semi-death ball to push this forward. They need to play hard and fast to get to the end of this, and they need to put some more time on the clock than the enemy team has.
course, we didn't get to see the full composition come out from the side of Whatever Bro, but looking at it already, they're going to be running a solo tank here on defense.
Yeah, solo tank deathball defense. If it works out for them, this overwhelming amount of damage could be very good for them.
Oh, and Madmare going to be taking that Hanzo for a couple of shots at the beginning, but doesn't find anything, so he's going to switch up Diva instead. Proximo will, however, be on the Widow pick, looking for any entry headshots to make the man advantage to go into the market section, but it looks like market section is where Whatever Bro are going to be fully holding this next, as they've got the shield set up and they are going to focus on this choke as hard as they can next. Madmare does have the high ground, and this will be payload starting to be contested now. Turtlite trying to get a lot of damage down alongside Mafara here coming from Demu. Choke point is going to be breached at the very beginning. Demu getting one entry pick there down onto Doki Doki, so one healer out of the equation already. Spoodle gets another, and he's gonna be doing what we got to see Doki Doki doing last time around.
Yeah, Doki Doki on their attack wasn't quite as proactive as he was the last time, but Spoodles is definitely making sure that he's that proactive Zenyatta on his team now.
And taking a look at how this has played out, very aggressive push at the very beginning coming from Whatever Bro. Kind of expected that to be a skirmish, but seemed to be a little bit all over the place from Whatever Bro's defense.
Definitely. They pushed out a little bit too far, they spread their defense too thin, and they ended up just getting taken out for it. They need to play this a bit more consistently and work as a team on this defense.
Bloodis does have the Deadeye available to him at the second, but that is the only ultimate available for now. Sammy's ult will be coming up very soon, as Chris and Dashij going to be taking the very aggressive forward hold. Gonna have to wait until they drop. Sammy does try to pick Demu out of the sky here, but to no success at the moment. Dashij still trying to find those cannon fire coming down as well, as we're gonna head into a pause.
Alright. Yeah, going into this, if things stay the same, it could come back exactly the same for our Mercy Can't Res. It could be the two teams are very good at attacking, but not super great at defending on this map, which would be an interesting play. It's really fun to see teams have that kind of dynamic where they can push in, mop up the enemy team, but when it comes to them standing up and doing the defense themselves, it's not quite as good. But we'll see. Proximo needs to do a little bit more on this Widowmaker, I think.
Now we do have, once again, the pause is going to be taken out. We are unpaused, we're back into the fight, and we're going to see Madmare take Sammy out of the equation straight away as the attack coming through once again. Payload very much uncontested. There's 3 members on the point, pushing this forward continuously. Dashij trying to find the damage to keep this hold in place, but it's Madmare to get the kill down onto Chris. Doki Doki pushing forward with that Ana, trying to find someone as Proximo gets a pick for himself. That will be the Earth Shatter coming down, and Demu will capitalize on that very quickly. Dashij only getting 1 pick for himself, but he is left completely alone, trying to buy that extra bit of time, but there's nothing they can really do here, as it looks like the point will be pushed in fully here.
I mean, for a team with this Death Ball, you know, the Death Ball Reinhardt on defense, they're not exactly sticking together very well, and I think that's a lot of their problem, is they're not playing around each other as much as they're spreading out to try and do these separate skirmishes, and they're just getting outplayed each time.
We are, of course, coming into this power station section, so Chris being booped off almost immediately. Sammy does get the pick onto Demu, who's got less space to work with here. Madmare will push Bloodis off of that high ground, however, so we still have people up there trying to get the damage down. Spoodles and Proximo getting 2 kills to enter this fight, but nothing really has fully kicked off, as we're not seeing those heavily coordinated fights that we got to see in the last match.
Yeah, it's not too much coordination right now coming out of Whatever Bro. Really, they're just kind of going in and attacking, and honestly,
Proximo getting 2 kills.
Oh, the nerf.
That's going to be a self-destruct, but only to get the mech back very quickly. Following that, Glyra will be using the Break It Down coming out of Lucio, but that's going to be the Soldier 76 dropped off of the high ground. That's Spoodles now, using his Transcendence. perhaps a fight going on, but seemed a little bit preemptive to me there, as Demu getting taken out of the sky once again. That's another pick, however, Madmare does get the self-destruct kill onto another mech, as Hasomi pushing this forward. Madmare coming in for the moral support more than anything else. Dashij finally starting to wake up now, as Madmare going to be taken out of the mech, and that will be the charge into the wall to finish off that Diva.
That was finally the defense coming together and really just putting it down. When it gets that, when it gets that close to the last point, really you can't do anything but gather around that payload and try and stop it. And doing that has made them work together as a defense, and it really paid off for them. When they're working as a team, they do very well, but for most of this defense, they've just been kind of scattered.
Definitely looks to be the case, and as I mentioned before, doesn't seem to be so many of the coordinated fights coming through that we almost got used to in the last series. But looks like the push coming through once again, but nobody's responded to it just yet, as whatever bro trying to find their position. Chris will drop down first. Sammy is going to be putting some damage out from above, and this will be Blood is getting the two-man Deadeye! Demu does take him out, however, as Chris trying to find more. 3 kills to 1 at the second, as Demu and Turtleye are going to be forced out once again, and another successful hold.
They are doing very well to keep this hold, but the mech goes down, and I think coming into the next fight, that may be enough to get a slight advantage for our Mercy Can't Res. Though I think Proximo may need to switch off of this Widowmaker. It's not working as much as it did in the first 2 points.
We do see him with his ultimate available, so can make a case for having that extra vision available. Hasomi coming in and getting boots off of that high ground straight away, but Demu gonna get 2. That's Hasomi getting the 3rd. Already, fight is now in favor of our Mercy Can't Res, as payload gonna be pushed very far forward already. They're coming up to the finale of this map. Self-destruct now coming down, not gonna secure any kills, but does manage to keep the fight off for a little bit longer. Sammy gonna use his tactical visor now, gets 2 kills there, make that a 3rd, as Glyra also finishes off Madmare. Another successful defense, but the fight isn't over yet, as Turtleye gets that res down. Chris is going to get the charge. That's going to be an Earth Shatter coming out of Hasomi, however, followed by another charge, taking Chris downtown, as that's going to be 2 Reinhardts passing ships in the night. Once again, successful hold.
There's only a minute and a half left. Proximo finally switching off to this soldier, and may be enough to give him another advantage coming into this, but I did say that earlier about him before, so we will see coming into this who can fight better. Now that the defense is working together as a team, they're doing a very good job of stopping these pushes.
High ground will once again be the area of contention. Blood is trying to get that damage down alongside Sammy, but Blood is going to be taken off of the side, and the headshot from Proximo going to secure that kill once again. Now, fight still coming through high ground, still at the contention. Turtleye getting 1 kill there with the biotic grenade, and this is blue across the board, as this will probably be the push for the win here. Now, finishing the map even, 30 seconds left. Blood is coming in, doesn't manage to find anybody with the flashbang. Demu gets the kill there. Gonna have to... Oh, the sleep! Delaying the Reinhardt to make sure that we are going to our round 3.
There is a slight time advantage coming in on whatever, bro, but our Mercy Can't Res has that 1 minute as compared to the 1:18, so it's still competitive. Whoever can push this first, through this first choke point will probably win this. It's just comes down to the defense, I think, because both of them are very good on this first attack.
Taking a look at attack, it will be our Mercy Can't Res taking that attack 2 rounds in a row. Looks like once again we're going to be seeing different picks coming in here, as Madmare going to already start hovering that Roadhog.
Yeah, he is very comfortable with that Roadhog, and I would expect him to choose that. Spoodles is on that Zen again, because that aggression that comes out from choosing Zen as your secondary healer is just very good, especially when you're in this overtime. You might not be able to get, value out of a Lucio ult, but if you do enough damage on that Zenyatta, you may have it before the first team fight is over.
Slight extra change up coming through. Turtleye, our Grandmaster Mercy main, going to be switching over onto the Ana. as it's going to be Doki Doki, who's had such a lot of success on the Zenyatta, now going to switch over to the Mercy as our attack is going to come through here.
See Dashij on this Pharah again, just from above, trying to poke down some damage.
Very far back hold coming through from the side of whatever bro. They're going to concede the first 2 corners here and try and hold everything at the choke point. 40 seconds left on the clock as this will be payload now approaching the defense. Chris getting some fire strikes through and trying to find as much ult charge as he possibly can as it's Dashij getting Turtleye with a very nice set of rockets there. Hisomi still trying to push this forward, and we're going to have to see how the teams manage to navigate through this choke here.
And Hisomi taken out as well. They need to get back to that payload if they're going to try and, you know, push this into overtime. Otherwise, they're going to have a very aggressive hold.
Bloody and Doki Doki pushing forward now. Doki Doki, yeah, playing that battle Mercy. 5 seconds left, and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to see anyone get onto that point. No, tell alive. That's Demu managing to secure the overtime, but he's going to be taken out of this very quickly. Reinhardt now pushing through, trying to get in before being taken down. A beautiful hold coming out there as Dashij just finishes up there with the rocket barrage.
That is a shame. Honestly, that could have been so much better for them if their main healer didn't go down before the fight started. I think they would have had a fighting chance to go in. But Dashij did such a good job on the Pharah being above, poking with those rockets, and that series of rockets that, you know, he let out to get Turtleye down just may have clinched them the entire match. Because if they can get this just a little bit past this choke point, then they will have won this entire series for them.
Of course, from the side of whatever, bro, we did see the first point be quite difficult for them, and I don't think they're going to be keeping that composition exactly like that. We're going to have to wait and see, however, but they were a little bit slow to start on this first point when they got the attack last time around.
They were a little bit slow to start, but once they ramped up their speed, they really got in there. I'm not certain how I feel about Bloodis being on this Mercy, considering how good he's been playing on Tracer and other roles throughout this match. But if they can get this going, if they can get through, then they will do a good job. Oh, nope, let us switch back over to that Tracer. It's like they're reading my mind.
They were just having some fun in the spawn room there, and I can't blame them for it. Going into this with high spirits, and it looks like it's going to be the same approach as last time. They're going to be taking the lower section to try and find those initial picks. Payload will be solo pushed here by Chris as it's coming through now. Dashij getting some airtime as Blood is trying to get the poke in as well. Stairs are going to be transversed here as it looks like that will be Hisomi pushed forward a little bit, but there's no extra damage coming through. Madmare getting the first pick of this fight. Madmare getting the second! Beautiful work from that Roadhog here. Plenty of time still coming through from the respawns as Chris gets the fire strike through. He's got quite a bit of ult coming through. Payload held there for now, waiting for the respawn so they have a fully coordinated push here. I'm just going to quickly move my camera so I can see a little bit more on this map, as that's going to be Hisomi holding this back. He's going to go into the house, recharge that shield. Extra, once again, the flank going to be used here from the side of whatever, bro. But that's going to be the pick coming out straight away from Spoodles as Blood is taken down very brutally. Chris trying to push this forward. That will be the wall coming down from May. Chris looking for the charge. He manages to take Turtleye out of the equation. Turtleye had the res. Doki Doki fragging out himself. No res will be coming through for this as that's going to be 4. That's going to be 5. Overtime forced. Proxmo forced off once again. And this is the contest. This is it. This is everything done. What a beautiful pick from Chris to secure the victory in this and the series.
That was a great pin. It was like a Hail Mary play. He was coming out of nowhere for it, but it ended up winning them the game, pushing this to 2-0. Whatever, bro, winning against our Mercy can't res.
And my goodness, that Chris pin at the end there. Huge play. And Turtleye having that res available, just losing that at the last moment could have been quite the tilting play come through.
It would have been. Some good play coming out of Dashij for this play of the game.
Taking a look at this as well, Turtleye did do a lot of healing, but he wasn't actually there just to get the res, and it looked like whatever Brew were able to just come together, realize the pick that they've got there, and just capitalize on it so successfully.
Yeah, definitely. They did work out extremely well. I do have to say that my players for this game, like my highlighted players, are Doki Doki, Sammy, and I think I do have to give it to Proximo because he was on fire when he was in it.
Definitely the case, and as we've said, whatever bro, going to take our first victory of the day there in quite the not dominant fashion, but in quite a surprise win there, coming through. Beautiful work from them and excellent play coming through. But of course, we are going to be going to a short break very shortly, but don't go anywhere, because after said break, we're going to be going all the way over to Division 7, where we get to see Diverse Origin play against new team, Who Dis.
All right, we will see you guys in a few minutes. See you in just a bit.
Hello, viewers, and welcome back to our broadcast today of the Overwatch University League. Again, you are joined by me, Daniel Dudge Sandal, and Energy__being, and we're going to be heading into our second game of the day very shortly between Diverse Origin and new team Who Dis.
Yeah, we do know Diverse Origin because we have casted their game before, and they are, old favorites from playing this previously. But we haven't seen new team Who Dis, so we will see how they play against each other going into these matches. Right now, we're just kind of waiting for the lobby to get itself together, but we should be starting shortly.
Of course, one of the other things we do have to point out with Diverse is they are one of the teams who have come from pretty much small startings here in the Overwatch University League, but they now have 3 teams available to them. So they have quite the infrastructure already available to them all for the improvements that they've made.
Yeah, Yodolf has put together 3 different teams under the Diverse umbrella now. He has stepped down from being the captain of the team himself, Bardon now in charge with Shoelaces as the vice captain, but basically they're just creating a little community inside of the bigger Overwatch University League community, and it's working out pretty well for them, I think.
Definitely the case, and it's lovely to see the amount of the entire organization has come in with. They've managed to have producers come in, they've got a couple of designers, and they've got quite a few members of the higher divisions available to them to coach them. And that entire umbrella that they've made is so fantastic to see, and it's what we love to see here at the Overwatch University League. However, if you have just tuned in, because we do have quite a lovely amount of viewers on the channel already, thank you by the way. Just quickly to go over, if you don't know what we're doing here, we are running the Overwatch University League. Now, that doesn't mean that this is just for university teams to come in and play. The university aspect is for all teams to come in and just improve as players. We would like to remind you to check out our subreddit, reddit.com/r/Overwatch University, so you can get a feel for what we're doing here. The Overwatch University League is dedicated to helping players, casters, and coaches get better at what they enjoy doing. If you guys out there haven't joined so far and would like some more information on the Overwatch University League, then please feel free to go to our Discord at discord.gg/OW University. There you can sign up as a free agent or as a substitute, so you can come in, play for some teams who are needing players for matches or upcoming scrims. The Overwatch University League accepts everyone from all skill levels, so do not ever feel like you are not good enough to join. We are all here to get better together, and that is what you will see if you come join us on Discord and come join the conversation with us.
Yeah, we love having new people. We love having new casters, coaches, players coming in, trying to work together, get better at playing this game that we all enjoy. It's a good time for everyone, and I mean, if you're like Yodalf, even, you can come in and just become a manager for multiple teams if that's what floats your boat. We're always interested in having new people, interested in doing things here with us. The more that we have in this community, the better off we'll be as a whole.
And with that community as well, such high spirits coming into this, and every single week we do have a couple of the league games streamed for you guys out there to view. And of course, if you would like to keep up with those, you are more than welcome to follow us here on the Twitch channel to know when we're going live. Or you can follow us on Twitter as well, at OW University. We stream every Saturday at 3 p.m. GMT for the EU games and 6 p.m. CST for NA games. And honestly, I'd recommend checking out the NA games because there is such a huge community over in the NA region as well.
They have a lot of players, and watching them play is entirely different from watching the EU teams. So it's definitely, like, if nothing else, it's definitely like a curiosity thing. See how they run it over there, go in, check out their stream, check out how their teams play, and, have a fun time. Make sure that you welcome them from EU if you go into their Twitch chat and be like, hey, we're here to support. Yeah. We'd love to have everybody from NA and EU coming in, supporting each other, and watching both of the streams if at all possible.
Of course, that does boil down to it. An overly supportive community is never going to be a bad community. So come in, come onto the Discord, come join us, and make sure you let yourself be known as we're just quickly going to be getting our game set up for you here today. Gonna be Diverse Origin once again going up against new team Whodis. Now, this is from Division 7. So, what do we usually expect to see from these Division 7 teams, Energy?
From Division 7, we usually expect a little bit less team play. We have seen Diverse Origin doing some pretty good team play before, so I'm expecting that out of them. But usually in the lower divisions, we see a little bit less team communication, a little bit less, mechanical polish, and longer team fights where people will, go a longer period without killing anybody, getting those, picks or frags off on the enemy team. It's definitely like a little bit more sloppy, but it's really fun to watch because they have their own sort of meta where they go in, they go all out, and they fight to the death over the point. And that is a great thing to watch every once in a while if you're just into that kind of thing. People's going really hard against each other.
And yeah, we did just come from a Division 3 game, which is where we start seeing players of around about Diamond all the way through to the GM region. But of course, these teams are made up of a SR average, so we have to bear in mind there's no just flat out this is the Platinum League or something along those lines. Of course, Diverse Origin are coming in with players from all across the spectrum here, so if we take a look at any one of them at a point, we're going to be seeing some very different figures come through. One of the newest additions to the Diverse Origin roster is also going to be Shoelaces.
Yeah, Shoelaces has been a pretty well known Mercy in this league. She does talk a lot and goes around in the community. So people know her. She is also a sub for a lot of teams a lot of the time when they cannot get, their Mercy main to show up. She's definitely very good at coming in, filling in Mercy, and she is definitely very good at that Mercy now. In the beginning, we saw a bit more shaky play from her, but now she has definitely got it on lock. She's doing a lot better, and seeing her on this team is pretty cool. We'll see if she can pull off some of those crazy reses coming into this.
And not just the reses either. Last week when we did get to see Diverse Origin play, we saw that Shoelace's positioning had improved drastically over the season's break.
Yeah, she is definitely knowing where to sit during these team fights. She's knowing how to move in and out of the fights a bit better. She's definitely good at using that jump to go between people, stay away from, dying and things like that. So seeing her as an addition on this team will probably be good for Diverse Origin going forward. And I think that'll be pretty great for them. She can learn a few new things, but that's definitely why she's here, to learn and get better and play in a team environment.
And of course, whilst we are talking up this game as well, we cannot miss out on Dis, who once again are a new team who were formed at the beginning of this season, going up against a team which has already been established before. We got to see that last game, and the team that was lesser established actually took the victory.
Yeah.
So what sort of compositions do you think we can expect from a newer team who want to come in and just be that much more coordinated?
I think if they're going to want to come in and use a team composition that'll make them a bit more coordinated if they haven't worked together very long, I think them going with a pretty standard death ball will help them with that. The Reinhardt is definitely, a pick that helps people to move at an even tempo, because if you're moving behind the Reinhardt, if you're keeping with him, keeping inside of the space that he creates for your team, you'll definitely be moving all as one. And even if you have a little bit shakier communication, then you'll be able to just follow behind him, know that he's there for you, and move in with him, as opposed to, a dive where you'll be going in and it's kind of chaotic, and a lot of it is down to your, mechanical skill on how you play the game. So if you're newer, I think it's probably a bit more advisable to start out with the death ball, unless you find that, in a really aggressive dive comp is more to your liking.
And of course, the death ball composition has been something we've been seeing recently. So taking a look at the death ball, what are some of the things that we can see come from teams to just try and stop that in its tracks?
Well, definitely, so there's a few arguments for different ways to do it, because if you can spread out as a team and take them out 1 versus 1, like with each of your players, then you will have a good time. If you are more mechanically skilled than them, you will be able to do it. But I think for some of the lower divisions, just sticking together, keeping behind that Reinhardt shield, there's a lot of temptation to not deal with it. And, like, basically, Winston, will start doing the damage and everything, and there'll be some temptation to run out from behind the shield, but if you keep on that, then you'll be able to just work there, do damage outside of the shield, and really get some damage out on the team. The Reinhardt will be damaged some, but the rest of your team won't.
Of course, when it does look at it, usually that death ball is something which people have a lot of difficulty going up against, just purely for the nature of the compositions that are usually run there. But of course, we've got the hype coming into this, and we are going to be heading straight over to Hollywood for our first game in this best-of-3 series between Diverse Origin and new team Who Dis.
Alright, just changing the top banners and we'll be good.
Excellent, so whilst we're taking a look at it, we will be going over to the Hollywood section, and it will be new team Who Dis who are going to take the attacking position first, already having a defensive composition locked in from the side of Diverse Origin, and I've just also had a quick confirmation as well that Shoelaces is now the primary shot caller from Diverse Origin.
Oh, that'll be interesting. I think having the main healer as a shot caller is really good for you if your main healer knows what's going on in the match. Usually they're the most far back so they know what's going on. I think that could be difficult sometimes with the Mercy, with how they have to hide and stay away from the team fight. Making the calls when you can't really see what's going on definitely is not as good, but if she's good at, organizing the people on her team, it'll definitely be a positive to them.
One of the things that we do have to say from Shoelaces is been a positive influence on many of the teams that she has been a part of, so that could come forward with Diverse Origin as well. From the side of new team Who Dis, however, we've been speaking a lot about Mercies, and we do have the pharmacy composition already locked in, which has been such a killer in these divisions.
Definitely the pharmacy combo is a lot harder to deal with in the lower divisions where some of the people have a bit less mechanical skill. It is really going to be on Ace to make sure that that is shut down before it even really gets started.
Now, of course, I am just having a little bit of fun with Ace in the chat. Guys at home can't see it, but these guys are coming in, and they are excited to start this one off. Feetbirds will be on that Reinhardt, and he's going to start pushing forward almost immediately, as Choke is not going to be contested from the side of Diverse Origin, who are favouring a more high ground hold at the second. Gonna take the back alley approach from the side of new team Who Dis, however, as they've got that dumpster for cover and they are looking to get the damage down. The drop will be coming in from Diverse Origin now, however, as Bardon will be the first to respond. Feetbirds getting that charge in, and he takes the Zarya into security room, but Reinhardt's gonna be going onto Reinhardt, and Simple Sam gonna take down Chiraplet as well. Kernberg, my goodness, that's a difficult name. But Soldier's going to take down Soldier as TDV does finish off Oscar Games as well. Coming into this next fight, TDV's going to be doing a lot of damage with that defensive fire, getting the double kill to finish that one off there as well. Terranius also finishes the fight, and a very successful hold to begin this from Diverse Origin.
It looked like it was going to go the other way, but really they just pulled it back at the end. TDV did such an incredible job getting that double kill. It's really good for his team that he did that, or otherwise they may have lost that point.
Looking at TDV as well, the ultimate is now available to him. Second defense.
Yeah, he will be able to do a lot of damage out on the enemy team, and they just got the Mercy res on the other side. So if he can get that Mercy in that rocket barrage, then they won't have anything to come back for, and they will lose this next push. It really just comes down to their timing, and if they're able to get everyone in that in the rocket barrage.
Of course, he does have Bardon to combo that with as well. Chiraplet gonna enter here with the first kill, so already gonna be the advantage from the side of defense here. Bardon gonna get one charge in, but that's gonna be the shield to keep that off. Feetbirds with the charge down on Terranius, and that will be the rocket barrage now coming out of TDV, as he's gonna be battering rammed out of the fight. TDV does get rest, however, and that's Ace with that Tactical Visor gets the 2 kills. Bardon now going to be using his ult a little bit later to get the bait and switch, us secure 1 kill for himself. Voluma now going to use his rocket barrage, get a kill, and be taken out of the equation as well. And we were expecting fights, and we're already seeing them, as that's going to be the Graviton Surge now coming down, and Feetbird's going to be swinging the hammer into a black hole and securing 3 kills.
Feetbirds and Simple Sam now on the point. They're probably going to be able to take it unless there's some coordinated defensive dive back to the point. And I don't think that's coming out. I think they're just trying to get back together as a team before moving into this next fight. And that will be the case.
Voluma just trying to put a couple of extra rockets over the top of these Hollywood gates here, but payload is now starting to be in motion, and I'm already hearing the producer inside that car stop BMing the team.
Is he the producer or is he an actor?
I think he's a producer.
Don't know. I thought he was the Omnic robot on the, like, Hana song movie poster thing, Thespian 2.0 or whatever.
Could be, could very well be, but we are going to be seeing Bardon now drop down from the general store and just try and find himself an entrance. So we are going to get an instant defense onto this payload as kills traded already across the board. Terranius does take out Kernboys, but looking at the rest, we do have this quite even here. Chiraplet trying to find the laser to just get that extra bit of damage, but this is just quite a successful defense as nobody's really dying. Both teams' healers doing a lot of work here. That's going to be an Earth Shatter, just missing out there as Feetbirds gets a beautiful shield to stop that off.
The attack is doing a fairly decent job of moving it forward slowly. They're pushing the defense back, but right now they're just getting caught out way away from the point, and I think it's bad for them.
We are coming up to the bridge section here, and that is going to be the defense just holding it off. Even Ace secures the defense with a kill of his own down onto Oscar Games.
And there is 5 ults on both sides, so it really depends on which combos come out and how good they do. Because it could just be that it's shut down immediately by both of the Mercy ults that are in this. No matter what happens, it could easily swing both ways if they don't get that Mercy in it. 2
whole Mercy reses, and we could be in for a very long team fight coming out of that. The payload is going to be contested once again, as Bardon going to be getting the nano on himself. Gets the first kill here as he's pushing forward. YOLO Ryan going to take down the Mercy, so that's going to be no res coming into this next fight. The charge will land down onto Feetbirds, and Bardon secures a 3rd kill for himself on that Reinhardt.
One thing that we do see in the lower divisions that's definitely proving to be a little bit true in this is when the team goes down, the players don't necessarily go back for this. They don't necessarily die just to group back with the team, or they don't necessarily pull out. They'll fight to try and get their ult charge up, and that is not always a great play. Sometimes you just want to be with the team instead, so that you can get the next push faster.
Oh my goodness, that was a huge...
And the tack visor immediately!
That's the tack visor from Ace. 2
This...
ultimates, 4 kills. There's the res from So Easy. We do have the fight
so
still
nice.
coming forward. Feetbirds gets
Oh my
his
God.
own. That's an Earth Shatter used. Shoelaces
Oh my
down onto the floor.
God.
TTV, 4 kills
What?
coming out of, and then another res.
another ult.
Kernboys gets the Deadeye,
God.
gets a kill, and that was. What
is this? That was so nuts!
Oh.
Holy... Who's gonna get play of the game? What was
4
that?
huge plays in the space of 4 seconds from the seam of that, and that Simple Sam now using his 2 kills secured already.
God,
Ace and
man.
Bardon trading back very evenly, however, that's going to be 3-3. Let's make that 2-3 now, as Kernboys and Feetbirds are pushing this forward in overtime now.
It is
and
so
also,
hard to cool down after something like that.
thank you to Biosan out there in the audience, letting us know he's a director.
Yeah, he is a director. Yodolf is a director, he's not a franchise owner. He doesn't own anything right now, he's just
No,
running
we're talking about the guy in the car.
Oh, the
car
director.
dude.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So Bardon once again going to be directing his team forward with this Reinhardt. Going to be trying to push the members of New Team Hoodis off of that payload. Almost successful there as they were forced to back out. Overtime is very much
man.
depleted, and that is
That's
going
it.
to be our round.
That was incredible, though, right before that last push. That was constantly huge plays coming out from both sides, no matter what happened. It was just ult after ult after ult. And really, Diverse Origin came out best on the end of that, but still, that was insane. Cooling down after plays like that is incredibly hard, I have to say. Oh.
Also very difficult to not swear in the middle of.
Yes.
There were a couple of words that wanted to come out of my mouth, but probably not for the best.
Probably not.
Taking a look at this, we probably will not be going to. Well, we most certainly will not be going to a round 3 now.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I would like to say that I've never seen this Lucio poster before. That's new to me. Alright. Regardless, like, we're not going to be going to a round 3 because they couldn't push it all the way to the end. All that Diverse Origin has to do is cap this first point and push it halfway through the next map, and they will have it. As long as they have, half of point 2 secured, they are good. Just have to push it right in front of that county jail. Well, a little bit more than half, but yeah.
I'm really sorry. Just, we do have a stream delay on here.
Yes.
Obviously, though, so that teams cannot stream snipe one another. We've got a lot of love coming out for the plays that happened 3 minutes ago. We do also have the nice little spam of, everyone press Q!
And then Moral saying that was brilliant, the PogChamp. If we didn't see a PogChamp coming out after that, that would have been a shame, honestly.
Now, of course, coming out of that, we have to see just how much new Team Who Dis are going to be able to do on their defense, as Diverse Origin have locked in their composition and they're going to be running along with this Orisa pick, getting straight onto this point already. Bardon just very aggressive with that Reinhardt. That's going to be the Lucio speed boost, enabling that as well. Feetbirds has dropped down with Simple Sam, and Volmer gets the first kill here. Shoelaces is under fire alongside Chiraplet, but Kernibus is still on the top of that house. They're going to have to back out here.
Oh, TBD, not going down because Roadhog did not have his gun reloaded at that point. But I do have to say that Cheraplet's using the Orisa in a fairly interesting way. With the right click when they were pushing in, they were able to get more percentage off on that point because they stalled them out using that right click to pull them back even longer. And that delay was enough to get them like 5 to 10%, but it wasn't enough because they couldn't get it up to that 33% to start.
Mukai Kubo, I could do with a bit of a cigarette break after that. Post-coital ultimate use.
Definitely.
But once again, we're going to be moving. Unfortunately, there was no point taken. And once again, we do have to get to that 33% mark before any advantage is going to be put in there. Volner does get the Helix rocket kills, but Kernboys is very on point with that defense matrix usage already.
Yeah. He is kind of aggressing pretty far forward, but he knows what he's doing. He's keeping the damage off of him, and he's just, not exactly pushing forward, but he's making it harder for Diverse Origin to push in by getting that pressure out immediately as they start pushing up.
And the push will be coming through again, as Diverse Origin are going to be going on top of the house here. So moving in, and they've got that coordinated unit. They're going to be dropping down very shortly, as Bardon going to be using this very aggressive shield positioning. That's going to be the halt coming out of Orisa as well, trying to push people back. Kernboys forced off of the top of house once again, but it looks like Diverse Origin don't fully have this entrance on lock just yet. 2 ultimates are available. That's going to be the Orisa ultimate coming down. Lots of damage extra going to be boosted as Ace going to be using that as a moment to try and find himself. Lots of damage come through. Tyranius using the Lucio ultimate, but that's Feetbird's going to be pulled in, dragged back, and the drag back stops the Earth Shatter. Kernboys gets 2 kills with the self-destruct, however, just making sure that this fight... My goodness, how did Bardon get there? What the hell? He's come in, he's an assassin. This is a Reinhardt. That's going to be the first checkpoint. What the hell?
That was great for that first checkpoint. Honestly, they were... And here comes a res on one person. Unfortunately, that was a bad res, I think. But, I mean, it just reduced the delay slightly. regardless, that was out of nowhere. We didn't even realize that they were behind that point.
Bardon is now pushing in, though. He's got the support of the rest of the team. Once again, I did want to highlight that Holt was used to bugger up the Earth Shatter coming out of Feetbird, so that's not available here for the next fight, as Bardon's still pushing this very far forward. Hook is going to miss from Simple Sam there. 30 seconds left on the clock, as Bardon, one more Earth Shatter. Again, 3 people trying to find so easy, but there was no support there for him, as this is going to be another clean defense from New Team Who Dis.
Honestly, I think at this point it's probably just going to go to New Team Who Dis because nobody is really dead on their side.
Pfizer is now coming down. Going to be going mostly into the shield. Ace trying to push through. Goes into defense matrix as Feetbird's getting the nano boost. This is going to be a full hold. Beautiful work from New Team Who Dis taking our first map.
Great work from them coming out of this. They looked like they had a disadvantage coming out of that first round with how they got pushed back in that ult exchange, but they were able to take it back. They have the advantage now, going 1-0. Who gets this? Shoelaces gets this. Okay. Oh, it's not even the crazy
where
exchange.
We expected either. 2-man res, gonna be getting a bit of healing coming through as well, and then the damage boost down onto Ace. To be fair, it was an incredible play coming through, and once again, another great demonstration of Shoelace's ability to position so well. Now, I wanted to highlight one thing, and these fights were so incredible going through and so action-packed that we didn't really get a chance to pull on it. We did get to see one Reinhardt, the one played by Feetbirds.
Yes.
Feetbirds jumped off of the security room.
Yeah, and then
tried to get the Reinhardt ult.
Orisa
and was pulled in by the halt.
The halt was enough to keep him in the air long enough to have the other team, Diverse Origin, pull themselves together a little bit and react to it. He still got the ult off, but just imagine if that pull actually pulled him up onto the top layer. That one halt could have whiffed his entire ult, and that would have been an incredible play. But as it was still amazing to see it come off like that and be used in that sort of way. We haven't seen that too much in this tournament so far because a lot of people are a little bit too scared to use Orisa, but the way that he did it was just so nice. He was using it in very interesting ways the entire time, especially in the beginning when he was using the halts to pull them back from dropping down onto the point and getting a little bit more percentage on before they could come out. Yeah. Of
course, Bardon was definitely showing his prowess on the Reinhardt in that game as well. Coming from Diverse Origin, he was very well known for Reinhardt in the last season as well. Bardon Hart, beautiful, no fear coming through. Always on point with those shields, and we saw so many multiple member Earth Shatters.
Yeah, definitely Bardon was able to stay alive a lot longer than his team, and I think those Earth Shatters were really good coming out of him, but I wish that he would have saved it for the next team fight when he had people to support him. He was getting 2 or 3 man Earth Shatters when only one other member of his team was alive, and those Earth Shatters would have been very good if there had been, even one more person to follow up. He could have done some more work on those. Still, he does know the positioning and the timing to get these ults off. He just needs to be more aware of the team around him at that point.
Of course, our next map will be King's Row, so a map that we are both very fond of, and a map that we do get to see very often in this tournament as well. So when it comes to it, we're going to be heading over to King's Row, and we're going to be having to see whether Bardon Hart is going to be able to pull out some more incredible Reinhardt plays to try and bring Diverse Origin up 1-1 in this series.
Yeah. If we can see some good plays coming out of them, they may be able to take this back, take it to the 1-1, and go to that last map on Volskaya Industries. And as much as, I dislike that map personally, I would love to see a third map game.
We're going to have to see whether that's going to be the case. We've got ready checks coming through on both teams now, and we're also ready. I think I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I definitely get that cigarette break.
I'm definitely cooled down after that last, team fight where everybody just went absolutely mental. not that team fight, that ult fight, where everybody went absolutely mental on each other at the same time.
And it carried on through into the next round of this. We did get to see so many crazy ultimates come through, and I still have no idea where the hell Bardon came from when he just managed to get into the back of the points.
Yeah, like, he was there, like, with Ace on that soldier. They were able to do... Oh, wait, I need to put in the score. They were able to, like, get that Earth Shatter down on two individuals, and they were able to clean them up themselves for the most part, and then they were sadly taken out on the end of it by the rest of the, enemy team, new team Who Dis, but still, it was just really crazy. Like, after that ult fight, everything was insanely hype, which is not something we normally get to say.
And one thing I will quickly mention, we are going to be heading into King's Row, and it's going to be Diverse Origin on the red side this time around, and they are going to be the attacking side. Ace has locked in the Widow pick, so we're going to have to see whether that's going to be something that we are going to get super hyped about again for 2 weeks in a row.
That would be great if we could see 2 or 3 headshots in a row like we did last time. And just waiting for this to start up, I'm going to be going to Ace's perspective if we can get that early pick.
Let's just quickly see whether he's able to find those introductory picks. The rockets are going to be coming down, but they're not going to disrupt anything just yet. TDV and Shoelaces are taking the air superiority here, putting a lot of damage down into the Reinhardt shield to begin our fighting.
Headshot on the tank, but still a headshot.
Nobody is going to be falling at just a second, as Ace is probably going to have to switch off of that very soon. Bardon has already found his entrance in, not going to be on the Reinhardt this time around. TD getting the first pick of this fight. Defense is in a disadvantage at the moment. Feetbirds pushing forward with that Reinhardt, but this is going to be Bardon jumping into the back line. He's on top of the soldier, but he's got nobody to come to his aid here, as Feetbirds is going to be the one soloed out on the other side of this fight. Volmer taking down Bardon, as we're going to see Cone Boys and the rest of the team now regroup onto the point. No capture progress is going to be made just yet, as trades still coming across the board. TDV in a little bit of a precarious situation here, as Shoelaces going to be forced to come in to back him up, but Shoelaces taken out of the fight by Simple Sam. What a fantastic hook coming out there.
Not enough percentage to really take this point. It seems like they're having some difficulty with taking the first points on these hybrid maps. It could just be that new team Who Dis is a bit better at holding and doing these defensive holds. Definitely Volmer just running around on the high ground with that soldier has been a hassle for them, putting out some of the damage that they can't respond to easily.
And we are going to be claiming the objective already. Self-destruct sequence is going to be coming from 3 kills! 8 kills onto the point. What are we seeing today?
Oh my god, what is going on in these games, man? I have no idea what this is. That was great. That was great. They're going to ask us to take a cigarette break again, but hey, that was an incredible play. You don't usually see D.Va getting more than one.
Usually it's very difficult for me to, I've got a very warm flat at the second, so I usually have to have a window open, and I have a fear that any passers-by outside may be scared about me shouting about a self-destruct in a couple of moments, as Easy is going to be the first person to be taken down here.
Both of the healers
is coming to the aid. That's both healers down now. Ace, that's going to be the Earth Shatter coming through, but not cashing too many members at the second. A Simple Sam going to use the whole hog, gets the first kill here. Bardon gets enough for his Volmer going to be using the tactical visor now, tries to find some picks, but bubbles are going to be stopping him from doing this. Bardon takes down Kern Boys as Ace gets a kill of his own, and this could be the capture progress we've been looking for.
I think it is. I think that this is going to be it. Unless the enemy team's running in, and they are. Reinhardt coming back to the point.
Running into this now, and this will be the stagger, as Reinhardt's the only left alive there, slept, killed, executed on that point.
And Punch Kid. Hey, Punch Kid. Why not? Now the defense is going to be down a man, and Reinhardt's probably going to be backspawned. He is backspawned. He does have that charge to get him back up there, but there is going to be a significant advantage on the attack for these first few seconds until the Reinhardt gets back up there.
Have to see what they manage to do here and where they're going to hold. We usually do see the hold coming from bookstore, but because of that stagger, they're holding a little bit further back as Ace using the pulse bomb to get one more stagger kill down onto Oscar Games on that Ana.
Definitely was a good play for them coming into this. They do have two main healers on the defensive side, but still, that was great for them. One healer is definitely very hard to run with.
Feetbirds is going to be holding this very aggressively forward. That's going to be Simple Sam caught out of the equation here as he's going to a hard place, a Russian and a German pushing this forward once again. Feetbirds once again with that shield, providing that cover that his team needs here.
Volmer now taken out by TVD, and this is going to be good for the team fight. Oh,
the Earth Shatter gets the one there. This is going to be one self-destruct. Gets the one kill, but Feetbird secures two for himself as Ace is going to take down Kernbus, but I don't think they mind at this point.
What is with these switch-ups in this fight? There is nothing happening but, like, offensive pushes, getting one or two people at a time, and then new team Who Dis pulling out 2 or 3 kills at a time every single defense. This is going very well for them.
And I think if this keeps going this way, I'm going to need a lot of cigarette break at the end of this. Yeah. Thank you for pointing that out, Bikubo, earlier. Feetbird's now holding that shield once again further forward. That's going to be Kernboys just trying to find some picks on the outside, but it's Oscar Games to get the pick down onto Ace. Chiraplet trying to find an entrance here, but the rest of Diverse Origin have been routed. They're trying to find a way through here. That's going to be one pick in. Bardon with another Earth Shatter! He's got the nano boost. He's going to get this Reinhardt. He's trying to find Simple Sam as well, but he's forced to keep the shield back up instead. Not too much coming off of that here. Tactical Visor will be used from the side of Volmer here, but he's too low to really do anything, and he's going to be taken out by TDV.
And the res coming out, bringing back 2 people.
Push still coming out from new team Who Dis. They're trying to push this as far as they possibly can, and Kernbus with another fantastic defense matrix, but that doesn't stop a big charging German. Fire at will now coming down, Graviton Surge into Bardon, into TDV!
This
kills.
Is incredible. Every single time we're seeing these ult combos that are just working out, paying dividends, getting so much good space for both of the teams. Alright, we have a minute and a half going into this last point on the... I forget the name of it. The Omnic Slums, I believe.
I just always like to think of this as Power Station more than anything else. It just seems to fit it a little bit more, but of course, map callouts, not really something that's overly used here. We probably need to get some of those more standardized as the fight's already got round the first one.
And the sleeping.
He's gonna get the nano boost as he's left asleep, but he's gonna charge in. Does manage to find the charge, but doesn't get any picks coming through. Self-destruct will come two
again!
2 more kills with self-destruct. Kernboys, please stop. These guys have families.
What is this? Every single time these are being thrown in, just immediately dying. It's just great, great ults from this diva on this map.
Now taking a look at what they're going to have to do next, I'm probably going to have to start calming myself down very soon. Kernboys in the triple tank composition here, using that diva to get a lot of damage through. Feetbirds is going to be slightly pushed off here as Diverse Origin are trying to come through. Feetbirds does get... Oh my god, but on the backside, Ace with 2 kills on both of the healers with that pulse bomb.
That will be... Feetbird's getting 2 kills off of his... 1 fire strike. Caught out outside by TDV.
And it does look like new team Who Dis are going to be holding
right at the
end of the round. Once again, we're not going to see a round 3 on this map.
Yeah. And let's see who can get it to the end. If new team Who Dis can be as aggressive as they were the first time, and if they can keep on getting ults like they have been doing this entire defense, then I think they will be able to win this. Really comes down to how they're playing together as a team, honestly. And if Shoelaces is able to, be in the positions good enough to get those reses coming out after these ult exchanges.
Now taking a look once again, of course, we do have to see New Team Hoovis hold off this for as... Well, sorry. We do have to see Diverse Origin just hold off for as long as possible. So, running the standard composition here, is that something that you'd consider to be a good idea?
I think running this composition is fairly good for them. They do have 2 main healers, which... I do like Zenyatta on defense because of the amount of damage that he can put out and the amount of damage that he can sponge just with his ultimate by himself. But having, Tornadius on that Ana is very good for them. Having Shoelaces on that Mercy is very good for them. Having a hit scan so that they can deal with any, Pharah if it comes along is good for them. TDV is doing such an incredible job on that Pharah. So I think that amount of damage will be great for them. And Cheraplet on this, hog able to get these picks off with it will be great. If they can get some instant picks going into this, they can just stop team pushes every single time, especially if it's on so easy on that Mercy.
Definitely the case. We do have this countdown timer leading into this. Will we get our 3rd game coming out of this series, or will we go to a break a little bit earlier than we are used to? So, taking a look at this, Cinema push already coming out from New Team Hoovis. They know what they want to do, and they have committed 6 members to this push already. Gonna already get into the alleyway, finding themselves up onto the high ground now. Kernboys is already leading the charge forward with that defense matrix, and that's going to be Feetbird charging through very aggressively, gets himself into the backline as we're now into the hotel. TDV getting the first pick here onto Oscar Games, as this is going to be the Pharah defense, but doing a lot of work on the damage front already.
Yeah, they are going to have to push a little bit harder than that and get that Pharah out of the way earlier if they're really going to want to take this point.
Ooh, but the defense coming through hard and fast. Chiraplet and Bardon gonna be shutting this first push down with ease as TDV chimes in at the end there.
TDV still has 2 people that he's contesting with. The enemy Mercy So Easy and Simple Sam. Simple Sam just hanging out in the back instead of going back to his team, like I think would probably be a better play for him at this moment. But it's basically just a poke battle. If he can get Simple Sam down now, oh, Ace did, then there is going to be a delay on this next push. And So Easy going down to Ace as well. This is really going to delay them a long time.
New Team Hoovis, they have to take this point to even stand a chance to win this series 2-0 here. But if Diverse Origin are able to keep this hold going as steady as they have done so far, we'll be going to Game 3, which will be on Volskaya Industries. There's the pull coming in already. Ace gonna use those Helix rockets to get the pick down onto So Easy straight away.
And Volmer trying to take the high ground, but being pushed out by TDV again.
Oh, Chiraplet now using that whole hog, trying to find something here, but he's only found a big health pool of the Reinhardt entirely. Volmer does get the pick onto Ace, however. That's going to be an Earth Shatter, mostly going into a shield, but it got TDV down. That's both damage dealers, only tanks and healers now left. That's going to be another self-destruct coming through, and that's going to not kill anyone this time around, as the res was just keeping everybody invulnerable at the beginning there. Feetbirds does get a pick, however, as Oscar Games gets another Kernboys with the next, and another one goes down, as TDV will be the final member taken out, whilst we're going to see New Team Hoovis secure the point for themselves.
And Ace still hanging out up top, but it looks like he's just going to run back to his team. He is running back to his team and just trying to escape. Simple Sam not exactly wanting him to, but not able to do much as the rest of the team comes back up.
Now next we will be heading over to the streets phase, so trying to get the extra bit of damage and find some ult charge whilst the payload is not available to push here.
Yeah, definitely, if they have some ults coming into this next fight, if they can take out the Mercy before the Mercy gets ults, they will have a very big advantage coming into this.
Of course, payload has made it through the first point here.
Volmer not moving, so he may be getting a pause.
Yep, and that will pretty much signal the pause straight away here. So
Unless
Ace
they don't
just calling
notice.
that in chat as well. So, just gonna have to wait on them whilst they are sort of figuring this out here.
Yep.
No pause has been called just yet, which isn't something that we usually get to see.
Control Shift equals. Yep.
There we go, the pause now coming down. So, taking a look at what these guys are wanting to do, what is the next port of call on this map?
I mean, the next thing that has to go on, I think Feetbirds needs to get his ult, which is about to come up, off properly, or Simple Sam needs to collect as many people together as he can. Shoelaces does have her ult shortly, so they need to catch her in it as well. If they don't, then it could just be a situation where everything goes down because they didn't get that Mercy, and that Mercy is rezzing properly. I'm disappointed that Conbus with his ult didn't get any, because there were 3 or 4 earlier when that res came out that he could have just gotten with that bomb if he waited, half a second or 1 whole second. But disappointing things happen every once in a while. He's been so on fire with his ult this entire time that I can't really blame him for messing up one.
So taking a look next, we do have Volmer back into the game here, so we're just going to have to wait for him to lock in pick, and we'll get the action started straight away following that as well. So we do have a quick confirmation. Volmer's PC did unfortunately crash during that break, so now we're going to wait on finding the next. And as you say, next play that will be coming out, getting this through the streets phase. So defensive ults are in place currently from Diverse Origin, so we're going to have to see how they're able to use those ultimates into the next fights.
Definitely, I think Cheraplet and Ace are in a good position to use their ults. Cheraplet's mostly is to get them off of the point, and if he's able to do that well, then they can just really aggress this point a lot longer.
Just quickly catching up with all of the members. This is going to be Volmer taking the Soldier 76 once again. In behind, we are seeing the Tactical Visor come down from Ace, however. He does drop down, but all of that is going to be eaten up by the defense matrix, as Bardon is going to have that shield available for him to just get back into position here. The rest of New Team Hoodis are going to be forced back as the payload coming back to them, but they have the group and they have the stack available now.
I think they're being maybe a little bit too aggressive on this defense. Oh!
Bardon doesn't get too many with that, but TDV is going to follow up with the 2-man rocket barrage straight into So Easy's res. Pressing Q is so easy, I completely agree, as that's going to be one more ultimate committed into this fight. That's going to be Simple Sam using his Graviton Surge, but doesn't manage to find any follow-up into that fight. Volmer pushing forward now, and Tac Visor does come down once again, as this is going to be Volmer with 2 kills. Kernboys with another, and Shoelaces is left out to dry. Not going down just yet, as the payload push is coming back online.
And Kernboys just going out, pushing off Shoelaces and Ace a bit, and making them move back. They're going back to their team to regroup now, and that was a huge ult exchange like this entire fight has been, but it worked out for them fairly well. The attacking team, New Team Hoodis, moving in. They're going to have one last clash before the end of this point, and if they're able to do that, then they can push it in right towards that end and maybe win this match.
And they are going to try it. This is spawn advantage in the favor of Diverse Origin. Second, a Simple Sam pushing forward. That was going to be a great shield going through. Self-destruct sequence coming through once again. Two! Both taken down already. Shoelaces is looking for the res, and there it does come back up. Ace does get the kill, so we are seeing advantage in favor of Diverse Origin. Bardon does get the nano boost as well, but Ace, using his visor, gets the kill onto So Easy, and that will be only one traded back, as 3 go in the favor of Origin here.
There's only 30 seconds left. I don't think that they're going to be able to push up this fast. Like, if this Lucio can stay alive and he can just touch that point, then he may be able to push it into overtime. But I don't know how easy this is going to be for them to get in and push back up. They only have the 1 ult remaining. They just need to go in and die on the point, because So Easy does have that res.
10 seconds available to them now, as Feetbirds is going to be pushing in. The point will be touched, and this is going to be Oscar Games and Kernboys on this.
Oh my god!
That's going to be Bardon with the Earth Shatter, going to kill doing
this.
the rest of the
TBD.
work with 4 kills
Oh my
coming
God.
out of this engage here. Only 1 member left alive, overtime depleted, and this is going to be game for Diverse Origins as we go 1-1 in this series.
This is incredible. We are going to the third map, Volskaya Industries, which may be something that's difficult for both teams, actually. Capping that first point is going to be hard, and capping that second point is going to be even harder. We could see a full tie come out of this.
And of course, we are going to be going into that third game very shortly with Varese here to get the play of the match for him. So 1, 2, 3 members. 3 members, and then going to see some heals come out at the end as well, of course. Just quickly confirming with the teams now that their third map for this is going to be Volskaya Industries. So, gonna have to see how they play this, but looking at what both teams have managed to do so far, which way do you feel that this map will go?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Both of them are kind of hard at capping that first point, and really, it'll probably come down to how fast they do that.
Of course, a lot of ultimate investment has been the pretty much deciding factors of this game. We did get to see that final fight in the previous round on King's Row get shut down in the end by a beautiful combo of Earth Shatter and Rocket Barrage. So, gonna have to see what they're gonna do here.
Yeah, it really comes down to how well they're playing, with each other as a team, and if they're able to push in and take this point. This first choke is notoriously hard to get through if your team is playing the defense properly. We could honestly see some cheese come out of this, and maybe somebody choose, Symmetra Torbjorn or Bastion or something like that. And I would love to see that, but this is something that is going to be hard for both teams to push in and take this first point. And the second point is even more difficult with the defending team having that spawn advantage, being able to get out to that point in only a few seconds if they're able to. And Mercy on this map, if you can hang back and you can hide in that health pack area or hide in the area off to the left if you're an attacker, then you can get some insane reses on that final point. And both teams do favor this Mercy pick for their main healer, their, main healer with the defensive ult anyway, because they do both seem to be using the Ana as well sometimes.
Of course, when we do speak about the healer picks coming into these lower divisions, Mercy does also have that pretty much guaranteed healing. The only necessity coming through is the ultimate usage and your positioning. So that guaranteed healing definitely pays a lot of dividends going into these games.
Yeah, the guaranteed healing is very strong if you do not have a lot of the... It does take more mechanical skill to use Ana, and in some of the lower divisions it is harder to get a lot of value out of her healing. But with Mercy, all you really need to do is point and click and make sure that your positioning is good. And the better you are at positioning yourself, the more value you get out of this Mercy pick. Whereas Ana, it's all about positioning and aim and knowing when to use your, grenade at the correct time and when to hit that sleep dart. And there's a lot of different skill sets that come into playing her. So Mercy is something that we see a lot more in the lower divisions and, sometimes in the higher divisions as well. But it is a very good pick for them, and it is paying off very well with all of these reses throughout the games. Oh, looks like a pause coming out again.
We thought we were going to be going straight into this one, but they are keeping us on our toes once again. So, looking at Volskaya, what sort of picks do we expect to see coming into this round?
Honestly, coming into this round, I'm expecting more defensive comp. We do see Diverse Origins picking... that Orisa again with Cheraplet, which I'd be interested to see how they play that. Are they on defense now? I think they're on defense now. If they're, on defense and they're protecting that bunker ult, basically, if they're using that bongo properly and they're bunkering it up, they can get a ton of damage coming off of that. That ult has so much value because everybody in line of sight within, I believe it's 20 meters, will get that damage increase, and that is basically like Mercy damage buffing your entire team. That is crazy. There's also, I would hope that we'd see some maze or something else like stall picks that are good at whittling away the enemy's time. But we may not see that because we did not see that before.
Of course, we are still quickly in that pause time. I did just see in chat Windows Update, and I'm really hoping that that's not actually going to be the case here. Now, I just quickly need to get a couple of things sorted with the team members. So would you be able to just quickly carry on with a couple of points coming into Volskaya and going over both of our teams, please, Energy?
Well, okay, for what we know right now, Bardon is more or less, the attacking Rhine. He is not a huge defensive Rhine. He doesn't always hold up a shield or anything. He goes in, he knows when to throw his hammer around, he knows how to get those pins, how to use his ults. Right now, I think his biggest flaw is that he's not usually aware of where his team is around him all of the time. He does know where they're at and everything, but when he's ulting, he's not keeping their positioning in mind so much to see if they can follow up. Shoelaces has been doing a very good job. I would also say the same thing of So Easy. They know how to use their positioning to their advantage on these Mercy picks, get these reses off. I think that Shoelaces is a bit better at doing that personally, but both of them are such good teams. It looks like we have Simple Sam back in the lobby, so I do not think that it was a Windows update, or that would have taken a lot longer. But yeah, we do have some good comps coming out of both of them. They are playing it up fairly well. They are, some of the picks that you do assume to be coming out of these lower divisions, but it is working out very well for them. TDV on that Bastion. We will see if that is a continued pick or not.
And unfortunately, it's not going to be a case of
Ace.
So I am
Ace is also on Bastion though.
Definitely relieved to hear that. And it definitely wasn't anything to do with the NHS hack, which we did get somebody in the chat also suggest. So, taking a look at this next one.
At this defensive comp.
And they're sticking with it from the looks of it as well.
Yeah, they're sticking with it. They're all walking out now. So we have a Reinhardt, Symmetra, Bastion, Orisa, and we have a Mercy, and we have a Torbjorn. This is going to be some difficult stuff to push through if they don't do this properly.
And of course, that is also limiting the healing pool coming down to Tyranius, who's going to be on that Mercy. So we do have the guaranteed healing coming down, but only one member getting that at a time.
Yeah, it is fairly difficult to solo heal, especially in these tournament settings where, teams can organize and find this Mercy pretty easily if they are all communicating their position. But there is such a high burn damage on this defense that if they are able to play it up well, it will be good for them. Kimmigan on the attack, we're seeing a Hanzo, which is surprising, honestly. Especially in the lower divisions.
It's definitely good to see that we are seeing these more surprising picks coming through. Kernboyce is going to be running the Pharah this time around, and he's already trying to get some extra damage over the top. No kills really going down at the moment, as it looks like the side of New Team Hoodis have just started to realize what they're about to walk into here.
Yeah, they're realizing that poking may just be their best option right now, and they're not exactly going in deep to contest or anything.
It's good to see that they're not overcommitting here, not feeding that additional ult charge in, as Feetbirds is going to take down TDV's turret. TDV will, of course, have to make sure that he is just, getting another turret up and available to himself as soon as possible.
And this Bastion doing a crazy amount of damage coming out. The spread is making it a bit harder for him to do so, but it is still enough to, make people move away from his line of fire.
Oh, already coming into this, and this is going to be Feetbirds pushing forward, gets 2 kills, and that's the solo healer down here.
Down.
TDV does get a kill back, but Shoelaces on that Symmetra does get one for herself. That will be the res coming through from the side of New Team Hoodis. Kernboyce going big once again, as we've managed to breach this point. Hanzo getting the pick down onto TDV here already, and this could be the point breached here. This could be the point taken against what we're getting to be seeing as the full cheese composition.
This is definitely a cheese composition. We do have the Symmetra coming up, though, who can put her teleporter down. Nope, not the case. The first point is taken immediately. We may see this cheese comp change or stay the same. Oh, and Shoelace is caught with that charge.
My goodness, that was brutal. That's gonna be the Earth Shatter, only picking up one pick here, but they can off of this as Ace is pushing back. Now he's on that Bastion and he manages to get one pick already back down. Kernboyce in on the far up in the air, does find some extra bits, but Ace once again with that Bastion pick getting himself a kill. Shield Gen is available to the team now as well, so extra health on the port.
You know, I just thought about it, and they may be going for that medal in this tournament where you have to win around using Bastion, Symmetra, and Torbjorn. That would be incredible if they could pull this off.
Kernboyce is also going to be getting TD turret once again. Shoelace is the one taking down the Farah. Of all people, Symmetra's not the person you expect to get that kill.
No, definitely not. But Shoelace is doing a pretty decent job on this Symmetra, except for when she was caught out the first time.
Oh, Hanzo.
Terraplit is just doing a very good job with that Orisa, just, dutifully putting down that bunker in front of Ace every single time, keeping him from dying.
Taking a look at what they've got to do next. So they're going to be running through. Kernboyce is still going to be on point with those rockets coming out of the Farah. Does manage to get something down. Shoelace is setting up some turrets and trying to find the next part of approach. Or at least holding it off.
The chat has finally caught up to the beginning of this, and they're like, they should swap back to D.Va, unironically here. They need to change confident things coming out from the chat. It's working out fairly well for them on this last point defense, though. Oh, Justice. On that platform. Moving Justice. I have not seen that before, actually. 2 kills coming out now.
Neither have I. TDV is going to
hold
the members off. And unfortunately, I'm having a couple of mic issues, which I'm just trying to sort out as we're going along, so apologies for any issues on my side here, boys.
Oh.
As Ace does get taken out by the charge. Feetbirds does die in the process of doing that, but still, killed off Bastion, definitely worth.
And they're pushing really far up. Bardon moving out and doing some damage, taking out Volmer right there. The Hanzo is not switching. I am surprised, but there is that Dragon Strike about to come in, able to probably section off the ult or shoot at the Bastion, whatever the case may be, whenever it comes up.
And Bardon keeping his shield up here. All of the members of Diverse Origin are slightly split, but that's going to be Bardon with the charge again, down onto Simple Sam. Huge ultimate one. Not going to be fixed up as that's the res coming through. Feetbirds does manage to get through the back as that's going to be 1 Zarya ult, 1 Hanzo ult, and only 1 kill so far. Ace does get 2 with the Bastion ultimate as this will be Feetbirds trying to strike back with his own ultimate, but Shoelaces trying to find something in here. Ace does change into the turret mode very quickly, gets 2 kills and sections down the defense once again.
There is still 0% on this point. If they can keep this up and they can keep this going, then they will be able to burn out the rest of the time going into the next round. And then all they will have to do is get 30%. If they can keep this up, Bardon definitely is sticking to this point no matter where he is, keeping his shield up so that he can stay alive. And I think that is their strategy going into this.
Bardon has been doing a fantastic job with this Reinhardt pick as well, all the way through the series. We've known Bardon for the Reinhardt pick for a very long time now, and it's actually very refreshing just to see how much he's improved on this pick.
He definitely is getting better at it. He's not always charging in. He's definitely more aggro than a lot of Reinhardts. But it usually works out fairly well for him in a lot of cases.
The setup is coming through from new team Who Dis now, as they're going to be taking the alleyway around the... the point here. Kernboys and Oscar Games, ooh, they're going for the sneaky one here. They're going to be going right into the back line. That's the sleep hitting down onto TDV. That will be the charge coming through straight into the Molten Core's Feetbirds, having to put his shield back up, but he has got that turret tethered to him now. Going to be giving the rest of the team a chance to take down TDV's turret. TDV's does get one pick himself, but Volmer's also going in for this as Bardon finds a pick for himself. Ace finding another, and this will be Feetbirds taken down to cement the defense on what looked like a fantastic push.
Only one last push coming into this, most likely with the amount of time that it takes to get to this second point. Ace is doing an incredible job shutting people out as they come to the point when he is able to see them. If they can get 1 or 2 picks going into this next fight, they may be able to just pull this out right in the beginning.
And we do still have 1 round left to come after this, very least. Bardon keeping that shield up, and it looks like the same approach will be used by New Team Who This. Coming into this, 30 seconds left, pushing through. They're going to be taking the lower here, as it looks like Alleyway and the little outhouse is going to be the approach. Shoelace is caught out very out of position here as Oscar Games gets that first kill. Bardon does secure one back alongside Ace, and that will be so much damage coming off of the back of that Earth Shatter.
And here's the res.
Oh
but there's
my
still
goodness,
another kill.
There's another
2 kills.
Kern boys, there gets one, there gets the second. Ace does take him down on the back end of this, however, and it looks like the defense has managed to pull it through. Beautiful work from New Team Who Dis.
Full 0% hold for this last point. If they can get 30% coming into the next one, if they can get past that first point and move on to the second one, get that 30%, they have won this series using Bastion, Symmetra, and Torbjorn, and they will probably be the first people in this tournament to get that medal for using those picks and winning the round.
Of course, that's another thing that we do have to point out coming into this season of the Overwatch universe. There is also an extra credit program which does allow you to gain medals for running certain compositions or running certain strategies.
Or just doing things in general, like getting your game casted or whatever will get you medals. But the team who has the most medals on each side, I believe, NA and EU, will be able to go to the finals even if they have not won their division. So a lot of teams pulling out some interesting things like this going into that. I'm not sure if that's what they had in mind, but it's definitely what it became.
Of course, Diverse Origins will be running the attacking side here. Now, what do they need to do to make sure that they get this point, the first point at the very least, and then snowball that onto second?
Ace and TVD need to make sure that they're getting value out of it. TDV is extremely good at getting value out of this Pharaoh, but Ace needs to be running, distraction on the ground to make sure that he can get the most out of the Pharaoh damage as possible. If they are busy focusing on, an annoying Tracer running at them and Cheruplet moving them around with that right click, they're not going to be worried about that Pharaoh in the air who's probably going to be killing them all. I think if they can combo well as a team, they'll be able to do this properly.
Very different already to be seeing as well. Diverse Origins are not going to be sticking with something so cheesy as they go on to the... But they are going to be going into quite a standard composition coming through from New Team Who Dis as well.
Yeah. This is going to be pretty much just like a game of who can do this properly. And the flank is coming out from both TDV and Ace now, both behind and moving towards that point.
The 4-man unit on the choke is holding a lot of the attention down. So, did get to actually hear already that Cheruplet does have 50% of the ultimate available to him now as Kernvoice on that Diva, putting a lot of damage into the choke. Ace has flanked him behind, and that's going to be a charge onto a charge. Feetbird's going to be under fire here, and this is no kills coming through just yet as Terranius is forced to heal himself back up as TDV going dangerously low as well, flashing health bars across the grid as then once again this is going to be Bardon with an incredible charge. Doesn't secure the kill, but manages to create space for the rest of the team. Bardon now keeping the rest of the team forward, and that's going to be an Earth Shatter coming down, going straight into the shield coming out of Cheruplet. However, that's going to be Bardon, gets the kill onto Feetbirds, but he's going to be pulled back alive. Bardon just missing that ultimate there. Two Reinhardts charging one another onto the ground again, as
Oh,
this is an
two! The
incredibly
fire strike!
messy fight, but that's the flame strike going to kill two members. Ace gets one of his own, and this is going to be advantage in the favor of Diverse Origins, as Chiraplet now manages to drop onto the point through the back, gets the kill, and this is probably going to be the point on lockdown here.
Only Conbus and Volmer still around, able to contest this if they can get on it. And I think they need to. Oh, but Volmer and Conbus just going out, taking the kill, going to defend this last point. If Diverse Origins can get this first 30% on this second point, they have won the match and the medals to go with it. Which is, you know, just a little bit of, like, a nice BM to get that nice, you know, satisfaction out of it.
And of course, we do have to bear in mind that coming into this, Diverse Origins have 6 minutes available and 6 minutes to play with. Similar time that new team Hoodis had, but they weren't able to get any percentage onto the second point.
Chiraplet has his ult, and I'm curious how he's going to put it down, where he's going to put, you know, the bunker to support it and everything, so that he can get the most damage out of the team. Oh!
And that's going to start us off very well, as Ace does get Bardon goes in with another. That's going to be the Earth Shatter. 2 kills, 3 kills. That's going to be Feetbirds, however, securing some back.
And
Ace
the res
does get a kill. The res does come through. We're going to see the fight reset slightly, but
and
this is the charge.
And that's it!
And that's it! That's game for Diverse Origins, who not only win this game, but they get themselves a medal in a fantastic 2-1 series over new team Hoodis.
And they've won their second week just off of that. That is incredible play for them. Diverse Origins 2, new team Hoodis 1.
And unfortunately, we are running slightly behind schedule at the second, as this game did have a few more pauses than we expected. So we're going to quickly go into play of the match, and we will be going to a break shortly afterwards as well, as we get to see Bardon just go absolutely nuts on this Rhine pick. Now, before we do go into that break, however, please do bear in mind that we here at the Overwatch University League support teams in getting better in a competitive environment. The seasons run for a good long time, so we've got, I think it's 8 weeks, 8 rounds going forward, and then of course they do have the opportunity to be streamed and casted live as well. Do make sure to join us in Discord. You can find the link for that below. Follow us on Twitch and on Twitter, OW University, for both of those handles. The streams are live at 3 PM GMT for the EU games and 6 PM CST for the NA games. But of course, whilst we do head into that break, don't go anywhere, because coming up afterwards, you can join Energy and myself in talking about Don't Blink versus Uncoordinated Inc. We'll see you very soon.
Yeah, see you in a minute.
Hello viewers and welcome back, and thank you for keeping with us over that break. We are heading over to our final game of the day now, and we're heading over to Division 5 of the Overwatch University League, where we're going to be seeing a nice little clash of the Titans between Don't Blink, where they're going to be taking on the Uncoordinated Inc. Once again, my name is Daniel Dudge Sandal, and joining me for this cast today is Energy Being.
Hello! We are coming into this last game between a team that we've already seen play, Don't Blink, and Uncoordinated Inc., who we have not seen and do not know too much about. I believe we've seen Argon before, but I don't remember which team he was on previously.
And of course, we're going to be heading straight into... You know, we think we'll treat you guys by demonstrating the point instead. We're going to be heading off to our first game today over on Kings Row, which is already a map that we've seen today, but we saw the Division 7 teams play it in the previous match. Now, what do you think we're going to expect to see coming into Division 5 with teams playing this map?
I think we'll see a little bit better play coming out of both of them. I think we'll see some better team fighting, like as... groups together, they will be able to move in together, capitalize on pushes with each other and that sort of thing. We do see a dive comp coming out, which is something that we didn't really see in the last time. We had some very aggressive DPS and everything, but we didn't exactly see, them moving in, trying to get this dive done, trying to do some work on that kind of thing. So I think we'll probably see slightly different team compositions, and I think we'll see slightly better play from both the team perspective and mechanically.
We're also coming in today taking a look at one of the teams, also going to be running a sub going into this, and that is one of our players from Coordinated Inc.
Alright, it looks like on the defense we're seeing a fairly standard composition. We have 2 hit scan, we have a tank and a Roadhog off tank, and, well, we have 2 main healers, which isn't so standard, but will make up for any damage that they take if they can both stay alive.
And of course, as we're going to be starting this off very soon, we have the Uncoordinated Inc. over on the blue side taking the first defense here, and Don't Blink over on the red side with that Tracer. Saying Don't Blink, but I think that's all she really does. Yeah. So taking a look at this, we're going to be going in, and once again, it's going to be the cinema push approached by Don't Blink here.
Anyone who watched this, who watched us last week, will know that Blink and the team Don't Blink is the perpetrator of that crazy Tracer ult that we saw last week, and hopefully we'll see some good combination plays like that again this time.
And it definitely was the case when we got to see them last. Well, we did see their coordination, we picked up on it. Unfortunately, they weren't able to take the win, but the fight is going to be starting straight away as Ida is going to take down Tarmovitz, and that's going to be Salt also going down. The fight is going to be around the statue here, but it looks like the attacking side are getting the better of this already, as Ahoob goes huge, gets another 2 kills for himself, and that will be the dive, securing this first point on the dry push.
And that should be it. They didn't use any ults or anything coming out of it, but they are going to have them coming into the next fight with Blink at 97% and Ahoob at 83 already. The rest of them kind of trailing behind, but not too far, except for Salt, who's at 43.
This triple DPS dive coming out from the side of Don't Blink is absolutely nuts. We got to see just how much work they could get done there, and Blink and Ahoob are going to be having their ults available to them very soon. Blink going to be using his straight away to take Pan Luca out of this fight. Dragon Blade does come down next. He's going to be slicing. He's going to kill one. Salt will kill Stuntcell, and this is going to be one more dive for such a free fight.
That was incredible. They just worked together so well as a team on this dive. One thing that we do have to note from watching them last week is that they are extremely good at pushing this aggressive attack, this aggressive 3 DPS dive attacking style, but they do kind of falter a bit when they come to the defense, so we'll have to see if they've gotten a bit better at that team play around keeping these objectives locked down and, aggressed properly from a defensive position.
I did get a chance to speak to NACL earlier, actually, the captain of the side of Don't Blink, and he has informed me that these guys have some fantastic new strategies coming into this week. They're going to be going over onto Eichenwald for the next map, and hopefully we'll be seeing those new strategies play out that they've been practicing all week. But coming into the dive once again, Assault is going to be jumping straight into the backline. Panluka taken down first, and this will once again be more kills traded over in the favor of Don't Blink. Transcendence keeping the rest of the team alive. Huge Earth Shatter, taking all of the members of Don't Blink down. However, that's 5 kills traded in return as a successful defense comes out of what looked to be a one and done fight.
I'd running out now, just hanging back, but really, that was such a good Earth Shatter for them. The Winston was ulting, wasn't really able to come back, put down a bubble or anything to keep his team down. He basically got that ult for free without having to do anything for it, and that worked out so well for him and his team.
Once again, Blink is looking for the flank dive. Once again, coming in, NACL. That's going to be Dragon Blade also going to be used into this fight alongside that Lucio. Lock here, jumping through. Ahub with the Genji gets the first kill. He gets the second onto the Mercy. That's both healers going down in this fight as Blink is going to take the rest out. NACL still coming into this. Gets 2 for himself as that's a fairly free push and a near team kill coming out of the side of Don't Blink.
The only people that are coming back up right now are is a 1 DPS and 2 healers. Everybody else is still just
and they can't get onto the point. Argon is going to reach there in the end. Tarmovit does get in, but Mint Mongo also going to be joining the rest of the fight as Blink takes 2. He takes 3, and another one as he's putting the damage and the hurt onto everyone. That is it.
Almost 4 minutes on the clock with that push. They are very great at that aggressive offense. And they are using that to their advantage. The other teams don't know what's coming.
Gonna have to see how they work on the defense. Of course, if we do get to see Uncoordinated Inc. use the dive, we're gonna have to test just how accurate their name really is going into this, as they'll be heading straight into the reverse dive, their counter dive, coming in from Don't Blink.
Counter dive is more difficult. It's gonna be something that they may have a hard time with if they're not playing it properly. You need to just specifically aggress the point. You need to be able to hold it, do some work around it, but they can't get too aggressive. They can't push out too far because this is not a King of the Hill match. You can't reverse dive back towards the enemy's, spawn point, because that's not an option here. The spawn is too close for the enemy team. They need to be aggressing the point more so than anything else.
Quite sad that we haven't got to see any of the spawn kill meta come through just yet over here in EU. We're gonna have to wait and see. I do know a couple of teams in the higher division who are running that. One of which is one of the diverse teams over in Division 1 I've had a couple of conversations with Ask for More, who's on that team, and honestly, sounds incredibly exciting to watch. Taking a look at the attack coming in here from Uncoordinated Inc., however, Panluka, who was on the hit scan last time round, will be running the Widow pick just for this first point.
Hopefully he'll be able to get 1 or 2 picks going into this, because if he can do that and clear that early, then his team will be able to push in fairly aggressively to that point with that advantage.
We did see his McCree pick in the last round actually do quite a lot of work, but unfortunately the dive wasn't allowing them to do anything, as Hold here just... Oh, we are waiting in surprise.
They're lying in wait so that they can jump on this
goodness. Point. This is going to be incredible to watch. Tarmovita is going to get onto that point already. That's going to be Mint Mongo going down onto that as well. Into the air. Tarmovit jumping up. This is going to be, once again, Soldier taking Panluka out of the fight. Brilliant shots and well placed there. Argon gets another. Ahub takes Mint Mongo out of the sky with the fly swatter of a sword. Winston now jumping up, trying to contest those healers. But that's Anarche taking down another. Salt finishes off this fight, and beautiful hidden defense, springing that trap.
They're doing such a good job just hiding out of view and diving specifically to the point. They're doing exactly what they need to. They're aggressing the point itself, not specifically the enemy team. They're just holding it, waiting for the enemy team to be, lying in wait, and then they take the aggression to them instead of letting them come to them. Too many thems in that sentence, but hey.
When NACL said to me Some new surprising strategies. I did not expect this, as once again the fight is going to begin. Argon does get the entry pick here, however, and this is going to be flashing health bars on the side of Don't Blink as they are just jumping around this fight, navigating around. Blink getting that first kill. Dr. Science takes another down onto the monkey. Mint Mongo gets another for himself. Blink with that pulse bomb going huge once again, but this is no point progress and still even trades coming out from Don't Blink, as Blink himself is going to be going up against the blinking of Panluka, not able to find anything as Elliot's locking down the point with some more well-placed shots.
Only with 3 people on the point, they were able to just keep off the attack. They haven't even gotten the tick mark yet, which you would expect with them coming against such a force that's like lacking in strength comparatively. But they're doing such a good job hanging in the back.
Once again, this is gonna be the trap. They have sprung the trap card already, and that NACL will be using the monkey pick here. Does manage to dodge out of the pulse bomb as Elliot's going to be getting that first kill. Hoop on that Genji, finding another for himself. Panluka does trade one back, but the rest of the team are dead as Ide takes down Dr. Science, and Blink will lock this out once again. 1 minute 20 left.
It still hasn't gotten the first tick even. They're doing such a good job springing this trap, lying in wait, and then coming back at the enemy team when they don't expect it. They are keeping the enemy team on their toes, just waiting, wondering when they're going to come back to the point. And this special strategy has been working out for them incredibly well.
And I don't really know how to do this. Panluka gets the first pick there with the headshot from Widow. Mint Mongo gets another for himself, so we do have advantage in favor of Uncoordinated Inc. But Blink is trying to make sure that that advantage is nullified. Dr. Science and Tamuvit will be finding more. NACL now springing his ultimate, trying to make sure that the space is bought for them to try and find this defense still coming through. That's going to be a Hoop now using that Genji blade. He's going to be slashing, he's going to be slicing, he's going to be dicing, but all of that is going into the Lucio shield coming out of Dr. Science's ultimate. NACL will take down Stancel as that's Panluka getting the Helix rockets to kill off that Lucio into the backline as Hoop finding another, and Panluka takes down the monkey who's been alive and annoying for so long. Mint Mongo gets one, gets two, and that's both of the flankers taken down. Elliot's will take him out of the sky, however, and RK now using that Transcendence, buying more time. But the res coming through from Stancel, and I am running out of breath as we are into overtime. Mint Mongo does find one. The contest still coming through, however, and it's such a tiny pixel, and that will be the point taken.
That was such a good first point defense from them. They have died a lot now. The attacking team is moving in, pushing for a lot of space. Some of it getting so many kills coming into this, but really, that defense was so good, they wasted so much time for the enemy team, and the attackers are just moving so far out. I don't know if that's a good plan for them or not, because if they're taken out now, then they will be able to have the enemy team come back and do a full hold.
Such a huge dive coming forward as well. We can see Dr. Science and the rest of Uncoordinated Inc. just pushing up to the final point, but Ahoob is going to be the one to shut that down, getting 2 kills onto that Genji as NACL, the team captain, jumping himself forward. Ide does find the kill down onto Dr. Science as Elliot pushing them off once again, and another successful hold from a disadvantage. What has happened to Don't Blink over the last week to turn them into such monsters?
I don't know, but they have done some incredible work. They know how to lie in wait. They know how to aggress the point properly with this dive comp that they love so much, and it's working out for them in incredible ways every single time.
The dive coming in again. Tag Visor now coming in from Elliot as he putting a lot of damage into the members of the Uncoordinated Inc. And this is going to be Don't Blink, showing just how uncoordinated this team is when they're thrown into disarray. This is a beautiful display coming out from them. But how can Uncoordinated Inc. pull this back?
I honestly, at this point, I don't know what to tell them. Like, Don't Blink is doing such a good job with this trap dive that they're running that I don't know how they'll be able to counter it. They need to move aggressively and stick together as a team if they're going to be able to do this properly. Like, they're being pushed away by NACL every single time he dives in. They're just giving him some space, but it's not a good idea for them.
Going in again, and he's going to be so annoying on this. be another ultimate coming out, as that's going to be Lucio just trying to use that. NACL gets 2 for himself, however, and Tarmovit and Dr. Science are actually going to be chipping in. The Tactical Visor will come out to get extra push going through it, and Anarchy just going to walk in between the tank. He's going to do a Tiananmen Square, and he's going to go back to respawn.
No matter what happens, though, they're not going to have any time moving into this last point. If they can get it all the way up, they're going to have, like, only a minute, basically, to contest
Blink
this.
is coming in. Doesn't land that pulse bomb, however. There's a lot of purple members on the side of Don't Blink here, and this will be a blue scoreboard at the second, as Arhoob is the only man left alive alongside Blink. But no, that's going to be all of them taken out, and we're going to be going into the final point here with 1 minute 30 left on the clock.
This is going extremely well for the defensive side. They just got rolled through, unfortunately. But if they can do like 1 or 2 good holds, then they'll be able to stop this. And no matter what happens, they still nearly have 4 minutes, while the enemy team will probably lose all of their time just pushing it, even if they're not contested.
Gonna have to see how they manage it. NACL is gonna be just getting a nice little entrance in here. He does get pushed around a little bit, however. Blink somehow got round into the back line, all the way through. Elliot! 2 kills off of the Helix rockets there. This will be Tarmovit still on that Roadhog, pushing the members off, but him and Reinhardt are left alone here. Anarchy does take down the pig, and it's gonna be the German lying in wait next, as Blink is the one to take the Hammerman himself down.
They only have 40 seconds to push it to the end, which is going to be very difficult with how this defense is going. It's just going to be an incredible hold for them if they are able to move back in, do this trap dive, and jump right back onto that point again. And Salt's just hanging out up on the top, making sure that he's going to get this surprise jump in yet again.
He has the ultimate available, however, and that's going to be the Genji Blade coming down. Purple, and he's going down onto the floor. That's going to be a fantastic play from Mint Mongo to shut that down. Tac Visor will be coming through from Panluca to try and push this forward even further. This is going to be a fight in the favor of the uncoordinated Inc. However, they're going to use that res to make sure everyone is available for this final point. Tarmovit executing the Omnic there in a very appropriate place to do so as well. Arhoob on the Genji, pushing forward into the backline. Elliot will be using the Tac Visor as well. Does get 1 kill with that. Panluca and Elliot are the only people on this scoreboard at the second, as Mint Mongo going to be pushing in alongside onto Elliot's there. NACL back in the fray. The Monkey using that tickle damage. Ide using the shield. That's a barrier for everyone, 2. And this is Tarmovit going to be taken out by the Monkey. Mint Mongo next in line. This could be it. Argon is on that Zarya pick now, but he's left alone, left out to dry, and this is him going to be going down, and that is overtime.
That is it. The dive has worked. The dive took the first round for them.
We had a lot of things to say in our second game of the day about exciting plays on King's Row.
Yeah.
But Don't Blink.
I don't think anything beats that.
What the hell?
What the heck, man? It's only been a week. How'd you increase that much?
And Arhoob here with that Genji pick, alongside Blink on the Tracer, alongside NAC, just becoming such annoyances with those flankers, killing off so many members and just stomping their authority onto this game. Beautiful work from a team that's improved so much over 1 week.
Yeah, this has only been 1 week. This is still the same team as last week, and we're not even at their home map. They just won the enemy team's home map. Now we have to wonder what they have for Eichenwald that'll make it, shown that this is their home map. This is what they play most of the time. So I am interested to see how they're going to run this trap dive that they're doing on this first point of Eichenwald.
Now, when I did say that NACL had prepared some surprise strategies coming forward into this game,
we didn't think
those
it was
surprise strategies had been actually prepared for Eichenwald, which is the home map of Don't Blink.
We didn't think that their, surprise strategies were going to be this. That was incredibly different than what I was expecting out of, oh hey, we have some new, interesting strategies that we're going to do. Maybe we'll use some different team comps or things. Nope. They use the same team comp very well in a very different sort of way that we've seen them use it before. So that was incredible coming out of them.
And of course, quick extra bit of news for you guys out there at home. If you haven't followed the OW University channel just yet, we are very close to the 500 follower mark. And on the EU stream last week, we managed to hit the 400 mark. So it'll be massive for us, Energy and I, if we were able to hit the 500 mark as well, getting 100 a week.
We would greatly appreciate that. We do have 52 people watching now too, which is quite a lot, I have to say.
Okay, so as we're going to be going into this next point, this is onto Eichenwald as well. So, taking a look at how the side of Don't Blink are going to be able to do this, we saw some fantastic strategies coming out from them last week, so we're going to have to see just what they have for us here today.
Yeah, we do have to see how they're going to run this. It looks like they're doing their, normal dive again. Well, I say normal. It is anything but normal. It has been working for them extremely well. And this is the same dive on defense, so I'm expecting this sort of trap dive thing that they've been doing to come out yet again. But we will see how they play it. They do have surprise strategies, and that might not be the only one.
Of course, Uncoordinated Inc. are going to know sort of what's going to be what to expect coming into this. So you can see that they have already started to change their lineup here with Panluca and Mint Mongo going to be running tanks alongside Dr. Science.
But okay, so they had the triple tank for a second there, but Dr. Science has been changed over to Afara now. I was going to question it a bit if they were going to run triple tank into triple DPS, because triple tank doesn't exactly work very well against triple DPS. It just doesn't have enough damage coming out to really contest that properly. And we are seeing this trap dive setup yet again, with everybody hiding and just letting the point be contested. Really, if I was the attacker and I just saw no defense coming at all, I'd start getting nervous, and I think that's what they're doing.
We're gonna have to see what they manage to do this time around. Dr. Science and Stancel are using ones. Looks like they're keeping together, but this is going to be them rearing their heads once again. Blink going to be dropping down first. Uses the recall to get back up with his team. NACL now jumping in. That's the Monkey going to be doing a lot of work, but he does get taken down. Unfortunately, Panluca, being the alpha monkey here, does get to run up, gets to run down, and gets to use that tickle gun on all the DPS. But that's Elliot, who's going to be trading off the kill here. Now, once again, no point-taking success so far as Anarchy and Elliot just managed to actually get that defense in the last couple of moments.
So good. Elliot was doing a lot of work on that soldier pick, doing a ton of damage. There still hasn't been one tick taken, and if they can keep this up for the full 4 minutes like they did last time, it's going to make it extremely difficult to counter.
Once again, same strategy coming through. Holding from broken rooftops, and then we're just gonna be... Oh, actually, a very interesting point, as once again be met face on by the side of Uncoordinated Inc. They've managed to push through, but they're already at the disadvantage as Anarchy does get that first kill onto Panluca. Now, Anarchy still in a bit of a dodgy position, as he's just got to find himself back with the support of his team. Blink will be picking up the slack, however, as he's running through. He does get the pulse bomb, and that's gonna be Tamuvit on the Genji taken down. Elliot finishes off the Diva as well. Panluca, the only man left alive, gets one kill to trade, but NACL is going to be finding himself in a position to push the rest of the team away. Panluca, Monkey ult now, Primal Rage coming through as he's gonna try and create some space, perhaps a little early.
Yeah, he was not in the company of his team, so I do not know why that happened. Maybe it was a fat finger, maybe it was something else, but yeah, that was a less than optimal play for them.
I just had a quick confirmation as well that over the week the team has picked up Ask for More and a couple of the Division 1 members from the diverse roster to actually coach them. And holy hell is it showing, as Argon is going to be using of a Transcendence. This is double Transcendence on this point. The D.Va is not going to secure any kills with that self-destruct. NACL will take Panluka out of the equation here, as once again we're going to be jumping through, and that's going to be 2 kills secured by the Monkey as Anarchy takes down the opposing healer. One more kill as that Primal Rage is in effect, and NACL, what are you doing? It's nutty!
Last game, NACL wasn't exactly doing very much. He was just kind of around. He was decent at, like, making the space and everything, but aside from the attack, he wasn't really having much effect. But on this defense, he is, like, the key point of it. He is the person that says, okay, this is when we're moving in, this is how many kills we're going to get, this is who we're going after, because I am the aggressor on this team, and he is proving it every single time now.
Oh, the post bomb coming for 2 kills to this off once again. That will be the res forced out of the uncoordinated ink. Gonna be coming in coordinated on this one though, as Panluka does take the Genji out of the equation. Blink trying to find some extra kills for that Tracer. Gonna be feeding the Demon here as we're gonna be contesting the point once again. Ide does get the kill down onto Argon, but then once again traded back to even. Dr. Science holding that shield up. That's the Earth Shatter. That's 2 members on the floor, and this could be our point taken in overtime, as AH Noob will just be trying to delay a little, but that will be an overtime take.
That was an incredible defense on that first point, though. They did such a good job at wasting the time. It's just going to be like King's Row, where what they did was put themselves in a position to make the enemy team not have any time going forward. Even if they don't hold the point entirely, they're going to make sure that the enemy is at the biggest disadvantage possible going into it.
And already at a disadvantage with only 2 minutes on the clock to get the entire streets push here. Elliot holding from the top of the castle here, and Ide just also going to be pumping some Lucio damage down. Of course, Lucio with those new buffs does get a lot of damage out of himself. That's a pulse bomb coming through, gets the first pick down onto Mercy, as that's going to be a Dragon Blade also used into the mix. Ahoob will be getting a kill of his own. Dr. Science trying to find something, but Blink is the one to take down the ulting Roadhog, as Elliot's using those Helix rockets once again to find another kill as he finishes off the Reinhardt as well. Beautiful play, and only 1 minute 30 left from the uncoordinated ink.
They are making this new thing work out for them. Maybe we'll see Don't Blink become the newest version, well, the newest member of the diverse group of teams, considering who they're having coaching them. But still, this coaching has paid off because it has brought a lot of polish to their system.
And the execution that's coming out from these guys as well, combining those ults perfectly. Elliot's going to be using get the first kill as Ide finding a second. The res will come through from Stancel, trying to just make sure that this advantage isn't too heavily in their favor, and also make sure that they do get some push. NACL does get pulled in, but he's the one to kill off the Roadhog instead. Elliot, and oh my goodness, Dr. Science does get the Earth Shatter down, takes out the first healer there as he gets the bubble onto him from Bazaria. Blink now just doing that Blink. He finds himself in and he's trying to get any extra damage, but that will be Panluka to take him down, as we've just managed to get to bridge section with only 30 seconds left.
All they have to do is bring out one nice, strong defense single time, and they'll be able to take this.
And once again, we are heading into this. The defense will be coming through. NACL with a lovely jump coming over onto the backside. He's going to get onto Panluka here, as Blink going to be joining up with him, taking him down. Stancel trying to find his own position. Dr. Science and Tamuvit will be there for support. But that's the 2-man boob! Ide with the right click in just the right time. This 1 second left. Dr. Science pulse bomb out, and that's overtime, and this is going to be it. Whew.
That was an incredible round.
I'm not quite sure how we can just... Every member of Don't Blink there working so heavily towards one another and just pulling it out to such a point that it's really hard to call out one member who is doing more than the rest.
Yeah, last week, the MVP on Don't Blink was Blink. And Ahoob also did a good job, but, like, Blink was the #1 star of the team. Now, every single member of the team is working well as a group. They're working together in tandem to pull off this strategy, and maybe just having the strategy itself, known and ironed out and everything was enough to change them. But this is such an incredible jump in quality in a single week. You don't normally expect this kind of thing. This is normally something that takes an entire season to, figure out, but they did it in the span of 7 days. They were on the mainstream last time, and they're on the mainstream this time, absolutely wrecking.
And we're going to have to see what they're able to pull out once again, as they will be going over onto the attacking side. NACL is locking in the Sombra at the second. Going to have to see if that's going to be the case, but for some reason I'm going to doubt it for
Pretty
now.
sure it's going to be
as
that Winston.
Blink is going to be on the Tracer. Ahoob once again taking the Genji. Oh, there we go, the Winston. That's what we were expecting.
Yeah, I expect a pretty hard and aggressive dive, and if they can get this first point fairly fast, then I think they may lock in the game. Yeah, top of the dome saying diverse Blink. Yeah, I think that might end up being it, honestly.
And here I was hoping for Diverse Academy. I mean, we've got to have an Academy team somewhere, even though Diverse already has 2 Academy teams, technically.
True. But hey.
Surprisingly, the Academy team, or one of the Academy teams, is actually 6 divisions higher.
True.
So coming into this, we do have the side of Don't Blink. They've already managed to push through, and they're going to go up against a very simple, very straightforward defense coming out of uncoordinated Ink. They're waiting for the dive to come in now, and they're just waiting for an angle of approach. They've gone to the high ground already, as the pause is going to come through, and just whilst I was in the middle of a flow.
Yeah. I wonder what the pause is about.
1000 ping.
Ah, that would make sense.
Currently, NACL does have 1000 ping, so we're just going to have to wait for that to resolve itself. Unfortunately, playing a composition such as this, or playing anything with 1000 ping's never going to be too pleasant for anyone involved.
It's pretty difficult to do that. You're like a full... Well, you're definitely at least a second behind, no matter what you're doing, so...
Is it 100 ping 1 second? I'm not fully sure on that. I don't know.
For some reason, I forget whether millisecond or milli is 100 or 1000.
Oh, actually, MS, yeah, that would be 1000 is 1 second. If anybody out there in chat does actually have a little bit more competence at these things than myself or Energy, if you could let us know, that would be great. But taking a look at this from the defense, what are we expecting to see here?
I mean, from the defense, I'm just hoping for them that... Oh, here we go. Back into the action. I'm hoping that they can just get a pick, honestly. Going into this, they need to just defend and get picks.
And there's the first one coming through as Tarmovit does manage to take out Lucio, who was going very aggressive back there. Blink is in a nice position here. He's up on Broken Roof, just waiting for the entrance. Stancel and the rest of the team are going to push off of that. NACL already getting a pick down onto Argon, as this is going to be Elliot. Also just pumping damage around, but Tarmovit with the lovely right click. Oh, he gets him back in return, however. That's the Avengeance, and that's Anarchy taking down Stancel. That's both healers out of the fight, as Blink takes Panluca, and Mint Mongo's the only man left alive on this Reinhardt, and that will be another dry push for the points.
Yeah. That was fairly fast, and I think they're probably going to have a fairly dominating Streets phase as well, with this amount of momentum coming into it.
Of course, momentum being one of those huge things going forward, and with 4 minutes 50 seconds on the clock, we definitely have to put them at the advantage here.
Yeah, one thing I have to say, that even though, Uncoordinated Ink won that first point, they did not really have the... momentum coming into their Streets phase. Their Streets phase, they barely edged out that point by just working right in that overtime.
Oh, and this is our Hoop. He's going to be using that Blade Orb. gets that first kill, but he is going to be taken down. NACL will trade off Stancel before being taken out by the Pig, who's doing a lot of work. Elliot is going to be staying on this payload, however, pushing it forward continuously. That's going to be Panluka taking Blink out of the equation, but there's going to be no respite here as Tamuvit pushes forwards, gets the hook, gets the kill, and this will be Don't Blink for the first time pushed off.
Yeah, they need to keep up these really aggressive defenses or they're not going to be able to keep this payload from getting to the end. If they are wiped, then they're going to have to be fighting on that bridge, and that bridge is not a place that they're going to want to go on, knowing from last week's Blink combo. This is just going to be hard for them going in.
Big thank you to chat for actually confirming that 1000 MS equals 1 second.
Yes. I was correct.
So as we're going forward once again, we have the high ground in favor of Don't Blink here, as they're going to be looking for it. That's going to be Pulse Bomb not finding any kills at the second, as NACL coming into this. Ahoop, Anarchy, Elliot, Ahoop once again, all getting kills, as this is going to be blue across the board. Ide gets the boop for the kill. Mint Mongo doesn't get the charge away. He's going to get the kill away as NACL jumps on him for the finish, and we are getting a free push here.
And they're going to get up to that bridge most likely before the enemy team really can come up and do anything about it. They're going to get a very, very nice advantage coming into this. And Ahoob just going out, aggressing, doing some damage.
So once again, we're on that bridge. That's Mint Mongo does find one, but Ide
Oh,
gets one
Mercy
off the
dead!
side. Panluka does get the Turbo Cowboy as he's going to power walk his way to no kills. Ahoob getting 2 with that Genji Blade, and this is a free push. This is going to be the victory for Don't Blink.
They have improved so much in a single week. How even do you do that? How do you improve that much that fast? They have proven themselves that they have done it, but still, how even? Just some coaching usually doesn't do that.
And huge work coming through from these guys. Gonna have to see who... Oh, it's Ide, probably with that 2-man boop.
Yeah. Credit to their coach, honestly.
Oh, beautiful work all the way through that, and Don't Blink gonna be wiping across the board with the cards there.
All of the cards. And also, the environmental kill card, which is a medal. So hey, congratulations. Don't Blink 2, Uncoordinated Inc. 0 for the final match of the mainstream this week on OL.
And they managed to pull that across so quickly as well. Beautiful work, excellent work to their coach as well for bringing Don't Blink together, and credit to them for the execution. But I know this is going to be the most difficult question I'm going to ask you today, Energy.
Yeah.
Who's going to be your MVP?
Oh, Jesus. That is actually a very difficult question. I think I have to say that out of Don't Blink, because obviously they're the team that's like on spotlight this time, I have to give it to NACL. Like, he has the most drastic improvement for me on this defense and on the play. He definitely has my MVP for this round for them. Also, their soldier was incredible, so I have to give him my second slot. Blink and Ahoob proved themselves to be pretty amazing the first time around, but yeah, they definitely had an amazing amount of improvement coming out of this, and they get my MVP and honorable mention slot for this game for them.
Unfortunately, we did not get to go to the third game there, as Uncoordinated Inc. did get dismantled pretty quickly by Don't Blink. But of course, we will hope to see them in the coming weeks to see just how much they can improve going forward, and we'll get to see whether Don't Blink also follow up with their improvement and get better through the coaching.
There's,
of course,
one thing I have to bring up in the chat before we start rolling out the end of this. Toxinator in the chat said, I didn't think non-pros were this good. Yeah, I have to agree. That was some incredible play. But yes.
One thing that we do have to point out here over at the Overwatch, We are dedicated to making sure that everybody gets better no matter what role they play, whether you be a caster, whether you be a coach, or whether you are a player. Now, make sure that if you are out there and you haven't joined us yet, make sure to come over, join us on the Discord where you can sign up to fulfill any of these roles that you would like to do and potentially even further your own self within esports through experience. There is no barrier for entry here, and we would love to have people on board. But for now, we'd like to thank you for joining us on the mainstream here for the Saturday EU Games. Make sure you guys out there do follow us on the stream and on Twitter at OW University. We stream every Saturday at 3 p.m. GMT for the EU games and 6 p.m. CST for the NA games. So make sure to go give those guys a check as well. And we do hope that you guys out there will actually be able to bring us to 500 followers here on the main channel today. But for now, thank you very much for joining us. I have been Daniel Dirge-Sandel, and joining me today has been the wonderful energy__being. And
Yeah.
we'd like to thank you for watching, and we really appreciate it, guys. Join us next time.
We really appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Please follow the channel. We would really like that. Yeah. Have a nice day, everybody, and we'll see you next week, most likely. All right.